Oh my god.
Tonight, we're starting our 3 episodes on the Christopher Nolan Batman Trilogy, starting tonight with Batman Begins, the 2005 origin story for Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne.
Now just take it and go.
I said you would.
Batman Begins doesn't exactly break new ground in terms of the storyline. Bruce Wayne is a child when his parents, Thomas and Martha Wayne, are killed outside of an opera house by a small-time mugger named Joe Chill. Thomas Wayne was a billionaire owner of Wayne Enterprises, the largest corporation in Gotham City.
So we build a new, cheap public transportation system to unite the city. And at the center, Wayne Tower.
But because of the corrupt system in Gotham City, which is ruled by crime families, especially the mob boss, Carmine Falcone.
Not a day goes by that I don't wish I could take back what I did. Sure, I was desperate, like a lot of people back
The Wayne's killer goes free after doing a plea deal where he promises to rat on his old cellmate, Carmine, and is immediately gunned down by a mob assassin outside the courtroom. Bruce Wayne realizes the public hearing was a setup to get Joe Chill out in the open. Disgusted by Gotham and the rampant crime and corruption, which is endemic to the whole city, Bruce Wayne takes off and goes on a trip around the world, where he trains to fight, eventually being trained by Henry Ducard, played by Liam Neeson, and a quiet figure referred to as Ra's al Ghul.
Yield. You haven't beaten me. You have sacrificed sure footing for a killing stroke.
To join the League of Shadows, a secret organization which plans to destroy Gotham City as the world capital of decadence and corruption. Bruce Wayne accepts the training but refuses to kill a criminal and instead burns down Ra's al Ghul's temple and heads back to Gotham, which, under the grip of Carmine Falcone and the owner of Arkham Asylum, Dr. Jonathan Crane, is more corrupt and crime-infested than ever, or even the few cops that are good, like Sergeant Jim Gordon, played by Gary Oldman, are having to make resigned peace with mob-tied cops. Taking control of the research department of Wayne Enterprises, Bruce Wayne turns himself into a masked vigilante superhero whose bat costume is based on his lifelong fear of bats. He's Batman. With Lucius Fox, played by Morgan Freeman, and Alfred, played by Michael Caine, as his 2 main assistants.
Today's base jumping.
Base jumping. Is that like parachuting?
Kinda. Do you have any lightweight fabrics?
You know, I think I have just the things.
Batman Begins stars Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Holmes, Rachel, Bruce Wayne's childhood friend and love, Liam Neeson, Gary Oldman, Cillian Murphy, Tom Wilkinson, and Rutger Hauer. Following the very successful Tim Burton Batman movies, which starred Michael Keaton as Batman, and the less successful Batman Forever starring Val Kilmer, and the sequel Batman and Robin starring George Clooney, Batman Begins rebooted the entire idea of Batman, who had been a very campy superhero ever since the 1960s Batman TV series starring Adam West. Now Nolan's Batman would be dark, gritty, and more realistic. The Gotham City of Batman Begins was modeled after Blade Runner, which is why they had Rutger Hauer as a very minor antagonist who attempts to take Wayne Enterprises public. The screenplay was written with Nolan along with Dave S. Goyer, a longtime comic writer, and the cinematographer, Wally Pfister, was Nolan's cinematographer from 2000 to 2012. It was filmed on a $150 million budget.
Open
and throttle up. This will boost you into a rampless jump.
Before I introduce the panel, please like this video and subscribe to the Movie Night Extravaganza YouTube channel. Then hit that bell to get notified whenever we're streaming. Super chats are now open. If you have any pressing questions, send us a super chat, which helps me maintain the expenses for the show, which I am obligated by the rules of the Geneva Convention to stop everything and ask the panel. Another way to help us out is to become a patron and give us money every month. In exchange, you get access to all of our after parties, bonus content, and we'll tell you even more movies we watched recently. Patreon.com/Movie Night Extra. We have a Movie Night Extravaganza Discord. There's an invite link in the episode description, and we have a Letterboxd HQ account. So those are 2 more places to follow along with us. Our show gets simulcast, or if we're not on it at regular time, played later on This Space. This Space is a working class independent media collective. YouTube.com/ThisSpaceTV. Subscribing really helps out, or even more, sharing content from This Space and encouraging others to do the same. By working together, we can break through the algorithm. Okay, let me introduce the illustrious panel. Conan Neutron is the co-host and senior producer for Movie Night Extravaganza, host of Protonic Reversal, an independent Film Critics of America film critic, and the frontman for the band Conan Neutron and the Secret Friends. Check out his music at neutronfriends.bandcamp.com. Kristina Oakes is a co-host of Movie Night Extravaganza, a streamer on Twitch, twitch.tv/cosmopolitics, a host at This Space, hosting Christina's Corner, and is across social media at Cosmopolitics and on Letterboxd at Christina. Forrest and Kristina have a second show, The Absurdity Space, live on This Space on Wednesdays at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Gus, the Twitch streamer who broadcasts news and politics every day, twitch.tv/GusTexBroadcast. I, of course, am your host and Gotham Police Commissioner, Forrest Miller. Why do we fall, Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves up.
That's right. Very quotable, this movie.
Why do we fall? I was gonna go. Why do we fall, Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves back up. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna.
The idea that he would be Alfred was like, I need you to understand that when this movie came out, all of the things that like we now take as for granted now were like absolutely insane. Like Michael Caine as Alfred, freaking Gary Oldman, A, as a good guy, B, being Gordon. Astounding, like this from top to bottom. And I say this, and I'm just going to come out of the gate this way. I saw this in the theater, and I was stoked because I knew Memento, and I really liked Memento. I was, they let Memento guy make a Batman movie. Oh my god, I can't wait! And then I was like, it's going to be like year 1 Batman, because. And I know you guys know, but for folks that are on the younger side of the audience, what you got to understand is like as great as the Burton Batmans are, and they are. The second one is so much for the freaks that they were like, it wasn't a Batman movie for you. And it wasn't. It has since grown in stature, and people appreciate it for the awesome movie that it is. But like they were like, we need to like make this more family friendly or something, and not whatever it is Burton is doing. And so what they did is they went and they went the other way, right? They went full on like almost recapturing the Adam West stuff and getting too cheesy. And then next thing you go, got Arnold Schwarzenegger making ice puns. And it's like, this is what is this? I'm not interested in this. And meanwhile, at the same time, Marvel's eating their lunch. So X-Men Blade, which is Blade is definitely relevant because that's like almost like same sort of themes as Batman, but especially X-Men, which Nolan at the time said was an inspiration. He may not say that now. And Spider-Man, the Raimi Spider-Man, the fact that they finally made a Spider-Man movie, because you got to understand they were trying to make a Spider-Man movie for like 20 years, right? And they gave it to Sam Raimi. They gave it to Evil Dead guy. So then when we heard collectively that, okay, they're going to give Memento guy Batman, it's going to be year 1. I was like, I'm buying a ticket right now. Like, I'm going to start waiting in the theater to see this, because I couldn't wait to see what it was. And then there was like, Batman Begins. I'm like, Batman Begins? What kind of name is that? And then when you watch the movie, you get it. Oh, no, it's literally like how he's learning to be Batman. But I'm like, Batman Begins.
And then he almost rebooted his reboot kind of in Dark Knight.
Well, it was fixing the sort of the problems and some of the critiques that happened on there. But what's so funny watching it now, the dark and gritty reboot, right? How cliche is that? That is so cliche.
Zack Snyder.
Sure. I mean, he learned all the wrong lessons from this. But the thing is, this came out there was nothing like it. Like Sin City came out that same year, which was, Robert Rodriguez like a passion project because he's such a big Frank Miller guy. But there was nothing like this. And even as much as I love those early X-Men movies, and I love the Raimi Spider-Man movies, it doesn't have those feel at all. Those have totally different feels of themselves. So there was no grounded superhero movie. The closest thing you give me Darkman, and Darkman's like the last thing people call Darkman is grounded. And so things that we take for granted now, because the entire culture of movies and certainly superhero movies has now changed, are things that like this movie kind of pioneered, like making it like more like street level, like making it more like you see like in so many other Batmans you have he's like making all this great gear and stuff. Oh, so he's a billionaire playboy, he's like the most fit guy in the world, and he's an inventor. It's like, all right, Mary Sue, but in this one we get like incredible Lucius Fox. Morgan Freeman's freaking amazing, and this character is like one of my favorites in the Nolan series for sure. And you get to see practical examples of like, is it a little James Bond? Of course it is. But it's like, but you get a different deployment of it that lets you know you were watching a different kind of movie. And so many of those things have just been gobbled up and sort of spit back in this funhouse mirror style. I honestly think, and this is going to be the terminus of this little soliloquy here, I honestly think that, Nolan's like, the oh my God, what have I done universe of like Odyssey, Oppenheimer, so on and so on. Yeah. I think that's him processing, accidentally creating the worst aspect of superhero movies.
Yeah, I feel like
based on this movie,
it's also kind of completely overshadowed, like the story at the time, which was that Christian Bale had just been in The Machinist, and
The Machinist. Oh my God, a great movie that he lost like. So I saw that one in the theater too, twice, and he lost like 70 pounds. He looked, I don't know, for people that haven't seen this movie, first of all, it's great, but he looks like he was in Auschwitz or something. Like it is crazy. So he goes all the way down to like looking like a skeleton, like a ghoul, and then he puts on weight and he like makes himself so muscular that like the suit kind of doesn't work on you now, dude. And so like he had to go back down again. And the only other person I can think of, when McConaughey did that, the first thing I thought of was like, oh, he's doing a Christian Bale when he did it for Dallas Buyers Club.
Now they're doing a Christian Bale.
Because he was the first, and I remember watching The Machinist again in the theater because I'm a freak, and being like, wait, he's gonna be Batman? How is he gonna be Batman? He looks like if he was like fucking Schindler's List. Wait, like, what's happening?
You know what's interesting too is that like, and we all know this was the start of Christopher Nolan and Cillian Murphy's partnership as well. He's the only person like Batman villain that's in all three of the movies.
Yeah, and he wanted to be Batman. He tried out for Batman, and they were like, the look isn't right.
Suit.
He
wore the Val Kilmer suit, and I'm like, oh.
But I don't think he realized, because nobody could have realized what a different kind of Batman that Nolan was trying to create. Because again, remember that the context was, we had like Clooney Batman, we had Val Kilmer Batman. At best, we had Michael Keaton Batman, who, by the way, nobody thought they could do at the time either. But like, he would not have been. He would not have been correct for this Batman, which again was inspirational in like awesome ways and terrible ways. But I honestly think that all of the like, oh my God, I've like got the genie out of the bottle like stuff, like the breaking Zeus's law, the atomic bomb, whatever. And no one's talking about is him.
Hey, Batman's law
is him. All of that is him taking sort of like internalized like guilt from like, the Snyderverse and all this other like horse crap that's like going on of basically like hold on, I'm almost done, I swear. Like the Mike Patton like basically creating new metal by accident with Faith No More, like that kind of thing, and be like, look, I'm that's not what I was trying to do. But I really do think that that's a factor. Please go ahead. That's what I wanted to say, because again, as a person who saw it in the theater, I have a different experience than everyone else. So.
And another thing too is looking at the cast. It's like, okay, Ra's al Ghul casting is kind of problematic now when you think about it, and
because you think it's Ken Watanabe, who's awesome, but like then it's like, oh, it's
or like a non-Italian playing Carmine Falcone, a British guy playing him. Like,
they shot the whole
or even
thing.
like people like
but Liam Neeson with like, is that supposed to be like an Oriental beard? Like what's going on with that facial hair?
And then of course a lot of people are like Cillian Murphy. This guy, he doesn't look like, because when we think of Scarecrow, we think of like a skinny, lanky looking dude, but like not this gorgeous looking man with nice lips and cheekbones.
Is it problematic?
But he's got that attractive sociopath
menacing,
so I think that works.
Is it problematic though that I like that fake out a lot?
Oh, I love it. It's great, and like it got me in the theater, and like I didn't forget, but on rewatch, I'm like, oh yeah, like it's Liam Neeson though. Like I noticed.
I've seen this before. And it still got me.
Yeah, because you're so wrapped up in because the Watanabe portrayal of Ra's al Ghul is so immersive. You're like, oh, I believe that this dude's at the top of the mountain. You got to go freaking truck a flower up multiple mountains to get to him, and what happened.
And he does that thing where he just sits there impassively, and then when he finally opens his mouth and says like some random it's a very he barely says anything, right? Like they're what he's saying is just like kind of just like a random expression. Like I forget the word, but it doesn't really add anything to what they're doing. Like it's just kind of random wise words.
It's a color commentary.
Also,
and it's real quick, Kristina, and this may be where you're going to, may not. It's notable how many people end up becoming some of Nolan's players. Like Ken Watanabe is one of them. He shows up at Cillian Murphy, obviously, plenty, but like he's still. Again, you have to understand at this time, equal footing. David Fincher, Darren Aronofsky, and Christopher Nolan. Those three were like considered equal footing dudes that had like promising first movies and were like given a shot to do something kind of crazy and interesting after that. And like very different paths for all those guys. That's how I'll phrase it. But you see the beginnings of him, which is equally nuts. And we'll talk about it next week, where he does Inception in between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, which what?
More
Crazy.
Cillian Murphy for me. Yay.
Yeah. Well, the
and
Cillian Murphy
Hardy.
thing, I have the clip somewhere, but you know, I don't want to disturb the flow of our conversation. But what basically he said something like, and I don't know if he's retconning it now that he's Cillian Murphy, now that he's like a huge star. I mean, he had been in 28 Days Later at this point,
which is where I knew him from, because
with Liam Neeson as well. Liam Neeson played his father in Breakfast with Pluto.
So 28 Days Later, another one that was early on, and so I was 28 Days Later guy, cool, I like that dude.
Yeah, but so he basically said he tried out for Batman knowing full well, and I don't know if
he wasn't gonna get it.
Like, he wasn't gonna get it, and he's like, look, I was very young at the time. I didn't think that they were gonna do someone my age as Batman. Like I was under no illusions, but I wanted
even
to
as
say
someone else. Probably I don't think he even thought he was gonna be in the movie, because again, when we think
he wasn't a name.
When we think of Scarecrow, we think of tall,
even though 28 Days Later did make money, especially after leaving theaters and home video, but like he was not a star, to be explicitly clear.
He said basically that he wanted to he thought Christopher Nolan was going places, and he wanted to say, at least in other auditions, like, oh, I taped something.
Yeah, I tried it. I went the distance.
Where's Falcone on the docks?
And the reason why being like Christopher Nolan's favorite person,
like exactly, and he won a freaking Oscar for it, right?
He's so far outpaced Christian Bale, which is fine. Right? Christian Bale was in these three movies, and that's like it's perfect. It's an iconic run, but it's like he's still casting Cillian Murphy.
Oh, look, there's Cillian Murphy in a cameo in both sequels in the Batman, because he liked him so much that I was like, oh, we might as well keep the Scarecrow
him in there, and that goes to him like having his sort of like stock players.
Kind of, he always was making excuses for Cillian to take off the glasses so we could see his eyes, and I was like, okay, Christopher Nolan, you are probably kind of gay. You are like 3 level Kinsey scale gay.
Well, the reason why I wanted to front load all of that, like here's what the world was when this movie came out, is I actually uncharacteristically did a little research on like other shows that have covered it. But I don't listen to other podcasts and stuff that much when we're covering something, because I don't want my own viewpoints to get colored by that. But nobody that I have heard like that it comes from, like they're doing shows now, brings it into context of how important this movie is to superhero movies in general. Whatever you think of them, you think they're terrible,
for the MCU.
This is to blame. If you think that they're great, this is also to blame. And both of those things can be true at the same time. Not The Dark Knight. It is not The Dark Knight. It's this movie. The Dark Knight. We will discuss next week.
It's this movie. It's this movie, and then obviously, 3 years later, Iron Man.
Iron Man starts the MCU, but that starts in a different way. But it was important to note that like Batman was considered like oh, there's no coming back for Batman. Like Batman's done.
Yeah.
There's
A
no
joke.
there's no way. Well,
Thanks, Schumacher, and your gay nipples.
coming back.
there's no coming back. I know the
But
voice.
it's
no
funny
coming
because a
back
lot
for
of people
Batman.
are like, what's wrong with Zack Snyder's vision? I'm like, Batman is the only thing that needs to be gritty. Everyone needs their own.
If
That's why I
everybody's
like-
gritty, nobody's gritty.
Yeah,
This would be a great
like-
time to bring out Gritty, the Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Flyers.
that's
That's why. That's why
Gritty.
a lot
I
of
think of that
people.
Gritty.
That's why a lot of people are just saying, just bring in Matt Reeves as Batman into the DCU. He fits the perfect Batman. He's a good contrast to David Cornswell's Superman. Clayface, the movie looks like it could be set in the Reeves first. They're showing Gotham the way it's meant to be. It just makes sense,
But Snyder's vision is sort of what I would consider all the wrong lessons from Dark Knight and Batman Begins, because what it is like, it's got to be mean and dark and like every one of those dudes has a big old raging boner for Frank Miller, and I don't agree with Frank Miller's politics. I do. There we go. Okay.
There you go.
Right. I don't agree with Frank Miller's politics in any way, shape, or form. He's a hell of a writer, though. I do think it's stunning that this came out the same year as Sin City comes out, and I do remember that happened, because I remember they're making, and I was like, because I was like excited for Batman Begins and like surprised that they were making. I was like, how do you make Sin City into a movie? Because it was so dark and evil and like just a bummer. No, and it looks amazing. I'm a fan.
Some of the
but
red,
But I was unconvinced that they could make a good movie of Sin City. I was like, there's no way.
And they did.
There's no way. And they did. But like, like dark and gritty. And we're so and in the same way that we think about now, every time that there's anything, the whole first season of something is like, okay, so they're gonna he becomes Umbrella Man at the end of the last show of the last season, right? It's like he gets the umbrella, it's like, I got an idea, and then the first season ends, and we joke about it now. But even though, Forrest, as you mentioned in the intro, that the killing of Bruce Wayne's parents, that's something that's told every time. Every time we at least get, in some way, shape, or form, we get some.
Well,
hold on. The killing of that. Wait, that's not the point. The point is that what we have never seen is like how he learns how to like fight like an ultimate badass and like be like a ninja and like these things, like, oh, we just take it for granted. It's Batman. Those are the things that he does. So this movie was incredibly important to show that, but it showed an origin story that was more pronounced. And here's something that I can't believe I have to say this, wasn't done. That just wasn't done. And now it's all we get.
We have origin stories and
rewatching.
Well, I'm kind of glad that with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, we don't get the origin story like we're like, oh, he got bit by a spider, cool. But spoiler alert, there's certain things that have finally developed.
I mean, at least he's out of high school, right? I mean, Jesus Christ.
But, like,
this kid's been in high school for like 8 years.
We need every single Spider-Man movie to have him show him get bit by the spider, learn his powers. But with Tom Holland, it's like, oh yeah, whatever. Like that's good.
We all know that. At this point, we all know.
He was introduced in the middle of the MCU
because it's not going to be any. I mean, they're not going to do it better than the Sam Raimi one.
Yes.
Like when it comes to showing, like Uncle Ben, no.
With great power comes great responsibility.
I was gonna say, I was rewatching the first, and at some point I'm gonna rewatch Batman Returns, but I was rewatching the first Tim Burton Batman, like the 1989 one, and he disposes of that, like what this movie takes half an hour kind of to show. Well, I mean, a lot of it's training sequences, which obviously he doesn't show, but just the killing of the parents, right? Like Tim Burton disposes of that in 30 seconds.
It's almost immediate. And you just get right to it. And it's set up so differently. And it's funny because at the time it was considered, wow, what a dark rendering of Batman that is. Because people were used to the, pow, smash, like Batman. Yeah. And then like them like walking, scaling the wall, but it's like just the set sideways, like
stuff.
And it's so interesting.
And how many Catwomans?
And you have to understand that, like, because that was seen as a critical success, but a box office failure after the first one, which of course made more money than God. But the idea that would be like, no, this Batman's going to be like grounded in reality, right? This is not going to be, Mr. Freeze and his freeze ray. I keep bagging on Mr. Freeze, but that character was horrible.
His story deserved better.
And Arnold Schwarzenegger was on set for like 25 days. I think he got about $1 million per day. You got about $1 million per day. I'm trying to.
But like,
can you wait the impression? Give it the fact to be done, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, but then you have like to you guys' point though about kind of the whole thing where it's like it takes forever to do like the backstory. Like Gotham, Gotham was like 5 seasons, and like it didn't even at no point did it. Yeah, at no point. I mean, like because you have Bruce Wayne as like a big character in that show, but he's just like a kid the entire time.
And now we're gonna promote you to commissioner. Oh, hey, Jesus Christ! I mean, that's a lot of work to get there. But...
How many Jokers were there? Okay. Another thing too is like, you know, with the different versions of Batman's, it's also like different interpretations of the villains, because for the longest time we didn't think anyone would top Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
It was considered it would be like, and I say this not lightly. It'd be like trying to do another Hannibal Lecter, which Mads Mikkelsen did, and he did a great job in the same way Ledger did by doing a completely different reading of the character.
Yeah,
and that's the only way you can do it.
Heath Ledger pretty much said like in interviews at the time, like, yeah, I just couldn't have. Well, no, also that, but he was like, yeah, I couldn't have watched like the Jack Nicholson performance. Like I just.
Oh no! How could you? How could you? Because it was like
no pressure.
It was a monocultural thing, right? You know, like and it was something that, you know, even like, what does it mean? Do ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? What the hell does that even mean? But everybody knew that.
I like the way it sounds.
Yeah,
gentlemen, let's broaden our minds and dance
so
with the prince.
The choice of using Ra's al Ghul and Scarecrow as villains was so important in this movie, because instead of being like the Riddler, the Joker, like all the ones that we've seen deployed so many times,
the big players.
Yeah, like it was a signal to us nerds of like, you're gonna get a different kind of movie here. This is not gonna be what it would have been if this had come out in like even like 4 years earlier. Right.
I wish the one character that like never shows up in the Christopher Nolan world. I do want to see what he would have done with the Penguin.
Yeah.
He wasn't gonna touch that though. I think Danny DeVito had kind of, you know.
I think it would be honestly. I think it'd be like the Matt Reeves Penguin, which, I mean, for me, I love that performance. That show's amazing. I love the show as much as I completely am uninterested in the Batman.
Ending, though, my poor baby boy. I was like,
I know, but I think you would get something like that, where it's like so grounded and there's explanations. Like that's the kind of stuff that I think you can still tell good stories with, that are interesting and cool and like different plays on the character. Maybe we'll get it with Clayface. Who knows? Because that looks like it's gonna be body horror. I'm like, all right.
That's
I mean, that seems like that'd be a pretty horrific thing to happen to someone. So I get it.
Perfect representation of doing a Clayface movie is body horror, because of what his body goes through and what happens to him. So I'm looking forward to seeing that in October.
Not a normal thing.
I do think more than like the other well, I guess like kind of
I was like, can we get a better poison? I mean, Uma Thurman was okay in poison, but like I feel like we haven't touched any of the other female supervillains besides like.
Well, we got Lake Bell in the cartoon, like in the Harley Quinn cartoon, which again, once again, it's okay because I'm saying this, not Christina, so you need to listen because Christina is a biased source. The Harley Quinn cartoon is fantastic. And there's the best depiction of Poison Ivy in that as well.
Socialist Joker too.
You get socialist Joker mayor. I mean. Do need more? Like it's hilarious. It's amazing.
Kite Man's funny. Like I was like,
yeah, Kite Man's great. That's it's good.
So there was but I was gonna say the thing about Batman Begins, right?
The movie we're talking about, right?
He lets he lets
history leading up to this movie.
Kind of. He lets Tom Hardy, I guess, kind of cornball it up throughout, you know, as Bane, which he's terrifying, but he also kind of has like an almost cartoonish thing about him. But in this movie, it feels like
and now everyone doesn't sound like him when doing the Bane voice, when doing Bane.
The first installment of this, the performances are a little bit more uneven, which I think is kind of funny. Like I think you know, like Cillian Murphy's performance is like it's almost like in a different movie than like Liam Neeson's performance in this, which is kind of a little bit more
it's like they're filming different things. Like it's almost as if none of these people are actually in scenes together.
Like
Scarecrow is a little more not campy, but kind of like Vincent Price, kind of like a little more histrionic, but like not to the point of being ridiculous, just to the point of, you know, you need something that's gonna.
This is like kind of the closest.
Yeah. That's why I love when he's like he's here, the Batman.
the closest I think that Liam Neeson can get to camp is like the Ra's al Ghul when he finally throws off his like singing. He's like, no, it was me. Like that is, I think, because Liam Neeson is not an actor that can do kind of camp. So it's like I feel like that's the closest that he's really ever gotten
he's
to like.
Once again,
camp now.
Once again, now he can do comedy. But once again, I'd have to invoke Darkman. But the thing is, it's mostly Sam Raimi's usage of him that is funny. Like he's playing the scenes very serious, and the stuff that is hilarious is happening around him, and or with like really overblown Sam Raimi, like crash zooms and things along those lines. That it's funny, but kind of in spite of him, almost like it's like in a Marx Brothers kind of way, right? Where it's it's not funny if Margaret Dumont's in on the joke. Well, it's not funny if Liam Neeson's in on the joke. Now he can do it though. I mean, Naked Gun was great, but again, that was the same thing of like just being able to do deadpan. But
it's very funny though. Like after watching, after being like basically indoctrinated by the prequels, like it's funny to like he's being trained by Liam Neeson, and I expect him to like accidentally blurt out like Anakin, Bruce, like.
Well, and the least odious of the Star Wars prequels came out this year as well. So that's not Sin and the Clones, but Revenge of the Sith, which is.
You were the chosen one.
I still don't like, but it's the best of those three. Also, there's a Harry Potter that came out this year. That Steven Spielberg War of the Worlds, where Spielberg, found out about 9/11, and that was his response. Chronicles of Narnia, the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe movie came out this year. But the thing that was funny, because like the movie that this was sort of like up against, Wedding Crashers. Wedding Crashers was people did not think that was going to be as big of a hit as it was, and it was like freaking huge. It was everywhere. Culturally, it was everywhere. In the way that this suddenly was as well. Like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, kind of like it made money, but that's like what I call an airplane viewing. It's sort of like it's like on if it's on cable, people would watch it, but this hit in the monoculture in a way that was very interesting. Not as much as The Dark Knight, but it was very interesting. And
also so looking at the domestic box office, it was 7th. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory 6th.
Oh, right.
Wedding Crashers.
I forgot.
Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
War of the Worlds, Goblet of Fire, Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Gary, did you put your name in a Goblet of Fire? Hopefully.
So, but most of these are franchises, right? But like you understand, this wasn't a franchise yet. This was like a wild, like let's give this auteur kind of art house director like a big budget and let him do something crazy with this, because like ain't nobody freaking care about Batman right now. I mean, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Hitch was in the top 10 too. Hitch, everybody. Thank you.
I was rewatching. Now I'm just thinking about.
And Fox, by the way, real quick. This is the year of their Fantastic Four, the one with Jessica Alba, and they're like, oh boy, less said about that, the better. Let's put it that way.
Now I'm just thinking about rewatching Nirvana the band, the show, the movie when he goes back in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2008.
It's great. Other surprise hit that year, 40-Year-Old Virgin, by the way. That was another one.
And
that Kelly Clarkson.
God, what a year.
And that I was all in for early on that.
This was right after this was 2004, probably the best year since 1939 with Oscars and good films, and because those Oscars were that year, February, something like that, when the Oscars were kind of early. Remember now about it. I'm predicting that the Oscars are going to be in late June by the time we're doing this in 2 more years.
I know, because everyone's so exhausted by the time it happens. Like, finally, can this be over? I mean, I was exhausted this year.
They really want to make sure summer blockbusters get a chance now. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it was a mistake. Yeah. Let's just let the November, December films get nominated.
Yeah. But Kristina, when you said, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? Now I just had the sudden thought of Harry getting nominated the Goblet of Fire, and Robert Pattinson's like, someone get these beggars out of here.
I love that that's become a meme.
When he
that's
says
great.
that, he's not panicking in the
Someone on Twitter was like, "Can I get $20?" And I replied with the actual video of Robert Pattinson going, "Someone get these bangers out of here."
I'm gonna add that as a sound alert on my Twitch thing, because got the Haley Stevens one and a few other funny ones. So I'm like, I gotta add that one in there.
I'm gonna try to add it to our board right now.
There you go.
Find it.
Go, Conan, go.
I feel like that one will be evergreen.
Yeah.
But yeah,
everyone's doing their plugs. The plugs go on too long. Someone get these beggars
out of here. Yeah, exactly. Got a fundraiser. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's crazy to think about. Yeah, post X-Men, like X-Men are still flying highs before they lost the plot with those. Raimi Spider-Man, just had happened, flying high. Literally. And it's like, oh wow, we can finally have superhero movies. I need you to understand that that's what this was, because it was sort of like, for a while I was like, oh no, you can't have that anymore, we've ruined that now. And it's insane to think about, because then Iron Man comes out and blows the lid off everything, and then we're in the hellscape that we're in now. But Batman Begins, man, like Christian Bale, who was again, if you were someone who was into like indie cinema, like and things like The Machinist and whatnot, you're like, that was the dude. He was the guy. Like, wow, that Bale character is like really good. I mean, American Psycho, like, get out of here, like, and I loved all.
He
that.
really
cemented Jared Leto in that movie. So
that's right. Yeah, we live with the thank you for that too.
He really cemented that status as like doing his insane body transformations by
Machinist. He was on a whole. He was on a level.
The other side of the
by our friend Adam McKay.
Vice, what I was going to say, the other side of
American Hustle,
the other side of the spectrum. Because at this point, like multiple actors have kind of done the thing. I mean, started by Christian Bale, really, like where they lose that much weight. It's like so many actors lose that much weight. Yeah. But who the fuck has done the thing where they gain, like where they're like as fat as he was for Vice?
It's pretty wild, yeah. And then we talk about Daniel Day-Lewis a lot, and Daniel Day-Lewis is a very method guy as well.
The grandfather doing all that.
Christian Bale in like the early 2000s.
Yeah,
God,
see, to me,
he should have. They should have had
in my opinion, that is what method acting should be like, when you're really trying to get into the role, like into the shape and the mentality, not become the person like off screen, which is what Jared Leto would do. But like, to me, that's what I feel like that's what method acting has become. This whole like, oh, you actually become the character. I'm like, no, that's not what method acting is. It's really doing everything you can to become the character when you're ready, when action is said.
It's weird that he was in Newsies. I forget he was in Newsies. I forget Newsies existed. What a weird movie. But yeah, American Psycho is where he kind of came to my people's attention.
Yeah. Now talking about Daniel Day-Lewis, though, as another example, I'm just thinking about like, why do you want to kill me? And he's like, I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
Do we want to talk about the voice? Because it's so over the top. Do I look like a cop? It's like, oh my God. Jesus.
Oh my God. Like, now everyone does the Batman voice like that.
But this Batman is terrifying, right? And like, you gotta understand, like, that was just, because even like the Keaton Batman, he was impressive, but he wasn't like terrifying. This Batman is like, oh, this Batman will jack you up like a bad accident. Like now it's like, unfortunately, in this post Snyder world, it's like, oh, okay.
I hate that this pops into my mind every time talking about the voice. But there's that movie Neighbors, the Seth Rogen and Zac Efron movie where Seth Rogen lives next to a frat house, and the two of them are like getting drunk or something, or like getting high at the beginning of the thing, and he's like, I'm Batman, and he's like, my version of Batman is Michael Keaton, and it's up here. He's like, I'm Batman. He's like, no,
right, they're going to the voices. Yeah.
Well, I saw that one clip of Adam West, on the phone, and he's doing the switching of the voices, going from Bruce Wayne to his Batman voice, and the Batman voice is just slightly deeper, more authoritarian sounding. But now it's like, I'm Batman. I'm like, okay, that's a little too much now. Because like now, of course, you get Robert Pattinson doing it. You had in Batman the Animated Series. That to me is the perfect Bruce Wayne to Batman
Hamish,
voice.
Linklater is really good as well. Yeah. Who is the he's an awesome actor. What's the new freaking thing called? The new show. I was actually just watching it. Batman on the Brain. Cape Crusader. The Cape Crusader series, which is it's like a 1940s film noir version of Batman, and like his voice is very much of that.
Noir, we're getting Batman noir and Spider noir. So that's
everything is.
See, that's another guy that you wouldn't think was going to be in was gonna be like a good Batman. I mean, even though it's like the animated voice,
yeah,
like he is. I mean, he was in like the Big Short, but then he was also the really really severe like kind of psychotic Nickel Boys headmaster.
That's right. Yeah,
that last year. Yeah. So
well,
he
what was it?
He could do a lot more than I think I felt like he could do when I watched him in The Big Short. There's a couple movies like The Big Short that he was in. I can't remember what movies it was, but he was always kind of like this like kind of droll guy in the office.
Yeah. Well,
he's very good at that.
And let's give a shout out, RIP to Kevin Conroy too, who did the Batman the Animated Series. It's for the longest time was the closest Batman you could get to what people loved about the character.
Yeah.
And honestly, like better than like a lot of those movies, frankly. Better than any of the any of the non-Nolan or Burton movies in that time period.
Yeah. Well, just looking at like the Tim Burton ones with Michael Keaton, like so much of what carries Bruce Wayne, like Batman and Bruce Wayne in that movie is just the charisma that like oozes off of Michael Keaton everywhere he goes.
Absolutely.
I just like that one scene from the last Oscars where it's Dan DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I'm like, oh, it's a twins reunion. But then I'm like, oh, they're dissing Michael Keaton. Oh, it's a Batman thing. Even though Arnold Schwarzenegger and Michael Keaton were not even in the same.
Yeah, they weren't in the same movie. Yeah, or the same era.
I was watching
was
watching this interview with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he talks about how on the set of Twins, he was like Danny DeVito on the set of Twins. He says, "Hey, come to my trailer. We can have lunch." So we're having lunch, and he gives me a cigar, and he hands me the cigar. And he goes, "Oh, good cigar, right?" And I said, "Yes, very good cigar." And it turns out he just filled the cigar with weed, and had no way of knowing. And
that's like a Frank Reynolds thing to do, but I think he would put crack in it or something.
But he says he smoked the whole thing. He smoked the whole blunt, not being able to pick up on the weed because it was like a stinky cigar. And he goes on set, and he goes to say his line, and he's like, line. And they have to give him the line, and they're doing close-ups, and he just high as hell. He's like, line, I can't do it, a line. And they have to keep feeding him lines because he's just so high on set.
That's amazing. I love that.
Do you want me to start with the plot?
Yeah, we should probably get like 40 minutes in it. We should consider talking about the plot of the movie. But I mean, like, really, I think it is important that it's our journalistic imperative to give you
backstory,
context.
to do a history.
Right, exactly.
Because some people are not going to know this. So, in Gotham City, young Bruce Wayne falls down a well and develops a fear of bats. One evening, Bruce visits the opera with his parents and is so unsettled by the performers masquerading as bats that he asks to leave. Good thing. People don't realize this, but he has a fear of bats.
Yeah, and it's an interesting way to play that we haven't seen before, right? And that was something
Forrest.
that was
trying to tell us something.
And I think all the scenes like with the actual bats are all super cool too. Like they're just filmed in like cool ways. Like, and they're not. It's not all like crappy CGI and stuff. It's Nolan and doing like what's it, 35 millimeter, 70 millimeter. I don't know doing it.
Yeah, something like
that. Last summer I was biking at dusk. And I swear to God, like this thing swooped out of the sky and landed on my handlebars for a second accidentally and went back into the air, and it was a bat. And since then, every time I'm biking at night, I'm looking up like.
Yeah, when it gets dark, those are not birds, and those are bats.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's a bat.
By the way, we also get Katie Holmes. In that area,
right before she settles in with Tom Cruise and all that, which is why she was engaged in the sequel.
She was engaged to Chris Klein from American Pie and from Election, the guy that Alexander Payne discovered at a high school.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So while returning home, a mugger named Joe Chill demands possessions from Bruce's parents and shoots them dead during a botched robbery. Bruce is orphaned and raised by the family butler, Alfred Pennyworth. Also, can I say, there's never been a bad casting for Alfred Pennyworth. All 10s throughout, even during the worst of the Batman movies. They've all been great.
But I think Michael Caine does a special thing that's on here. By the way, this plot summary is wrong. It doesn't start with like all that. I mean, we're like
it's doing it in the order of
Bhutan. And like he's getting locked in. You're like, what the hell? What movie is this? The right film? What are we watching? Yeah. Like
we're taking the train to Bhutan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that's what I'm like. That's what I'm reading. I'm like, wait a minute. I just saw this movie again a few days ago.
Right. But so whatever. I guess it's it's in
order of the storylines.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
All
thanks for
right.
correct,
Chronologically.
Gus.
But like, I mean, yeah, we're not getting anything. Okay, whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna stop bitching about it. Fine. What's this movie?
Yeah. I mean, look at the Titanic plot. I was like, wait a minute, this is too
I
rushed
know.
for a
This
3-hour.
is what happens when you open source things. By the way, I'm just
Yeah.
to lighten up this poor anonymous Wikipedia editor. I assume that's
Yeah.
what it is, right?
So 14...
It's okay. It's Israel's Naftali Bennett, so it's fine. He'll be all right.
14 years later, Chill testifies against mafia crime boss Carmine Falcone and is paroled. Bruce intends to murder Chill to avenge his parents, but an assassin in Falcone's employ kills him first. Dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun.
It's a woman.
Carmine.
It's a woman assassin.
Yeah, they allow that, I guess.
Well,
Carmine
assassins.
Falcone. By the way, I love that casting. Like it's so funny. It's like Tom Wilkinson, who's like the least Italian dude ever. Like
Yeah.
you know, it's like he's as Italian as Connor McLeod is Scottish in the Highlander,
Yeah.
and Sean Connery is whatever. Everyone's missing.
R.I.P. to Tom Wilkinson, by the way.
Yeah, he's great.
know.
He's really good though. Like
Yeah.
he's a great actor. I mean, he like
He's British?
yeah, and he like won like 2 Academy Awards. I don't remember for which.
Most
ones,
of the people though in this movie are British because they filmed it in England.
Yeah. England.
That's right. Yeah.
So
These are the aspects of the story that oftentimes have been told in other mediums, but not exactly this way. So yeah, go and continue.
So after confronting Falcone, who says real power comes from being feared. Oh, no, not great responsibility? Oh, wait, wrong movie. Bruce spends the next 7 years traveling the world, training in combat, immersing himself in the criminal underworld.
So this is how the movie actually begins, right?
Yeah.
We're in like, Bhutan. It's like he's in a prison. He's getting recruited into the League of Shadows. Like this is what sets this movie apart, especially at the time.
Nope.
There he is. There's Gus.
The man of the hour.
Welcome. We just started in with the plot. So
I think you're muted. Gus.
Yeah, I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
all right, I'd say we're off to a great start, but we're 46 minutes in, so it's not a start at all.
So in a Bhutan prison, Bruce is approached by Henry Ducard, who recruits him into the League of Shadows, led by Ra's al Ghul, which, by the way, from Batman the Animated Series.
Hello?
Oh,
There
All
we
right,
go.
we can hear you. We can hear you.
How you guys doing? Thank you so
We're
much.
doing good.
I love Batman, so this is one of my. I really like this movie. I don't know if it's my favorite. I think The Dark Knight is probably better, but I like the way they executed it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you missed about 30 minutes of exposition talking about like its
The
influence,
history
both good
and
and
all
bad,
that.
and history. But yeah, there was no movie like this at the time.
Yeah,
And
this was
it's-
incredible.
And I think if you don't look at that context, that it can maybe seem a little more ordinary. Like it is crazy how different this was. At
Yeah.
the time. And I can say that as someone who saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
But I
Also,
guess you're
too-
going over the plot, right?
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
going the
So
plot. We just
yeah.
got the point where he's
Oh,
in, like,
Lucy's
in
here.
Bhutan.
What up, Lucy?
Yeah,
How you
we're-
doing, girl? I
we're
rated
going
into you
over,
guys.
Where
so
he's
feel
in
free to
Bhutan.
So we'll interject as it goes along.
Me and
Apparently,
you
this
too.
plot,
Welcome.
this plot summary is a
little out of order.
I guess. So yeah, like just
Oh, go ahead.
We'll do
Yeah.
I'm
that.
sorry I'm late. I had to try to figure this out. It was not working on my browser. So I had to like uninstall the browser and fix all, and then I rated into you guys, and I was doing like 3 things at once. I'm really sorry. Again, I've never used this program before. I'm a new streamer.
It's all
myself.
good.
All right, well, you're here now, so that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just like the Christian Bale is in the Bhutan prison.
Yeah, I remember that.
So after completing his training, he rejects the League's mandate that all criminals should be killed. Again, Batman never kills anyone.
Nope.
Curtis
ever.
Lee was Batman. You gotta kill. You got. You
He
gotta
does not
kill all
use
the criminals.
guns either. He should never use guns. Like
Yeah.
what was it? Like Batfleck. I freaking hated that.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my
and there's
God.
a special point of that in the Dark Knight where there's the Batman imposters that are running around with like Uzis and stuff. And,
I don't need your
makes a
help.
big deal of it. But getting back to this summary writer, who I'm again is going to light up. Apparently, we're missing quite a bit of plot summary. Like he has to like
Yeah.
climb to the mountain to
Yeah,
like
the
go to it.
training.
He's doing the training. Will you see the thing with like the bat tines thing where you see like
Yep.
how he learns to like deflect thing? Like
That
we're
was cool.
being shown, not
Everything.
told, how like he became like this incredible fighter
It's
that just
so
can like
good.
best everybody. He's basically learning how to be a ninja.
I love the theatricality and duplicity or whatever, like the best weapons of fighting. He's like later Alfred's like, well, I've had enough of like you've had plenty of your theatrics. And he's like, well, theatricality and duplicity like are the best methods of fighting.
Theatricality is a really great episode of Glee, by the way.
Yeah, I like that aspect because a part of the comics and even the animated series is the theatrics of it, right? Like Batman is just a dude in a cape and like with armor, right? If in some versions he hasn't even
and
no
$1 billion,
armor.
but
give him $1 billion. That'll help,
we won't
right?
hold that against him.
Well, we were talking about, and we'll get to with the Lucius Fox of it all. I like in this one, there's practical explanations of like how he gets a lot of these devices instead of just being like, yeah, he's like, incredibly good-looking guy who's very rich. He's an amazing fighter, and he invents all this stuff. It's like, okay, at least like he didn't invent all this stuff too.
Like Lucius, he's such a big part of the equation, and
Absolutely.
I love how they add that.
Yeah.
First of all, the representation of an African American being a part of all this stuff and having a very technical role, I love because again, it's not something that if you think about too much. African Americans for the longest time were always portrayed in a specific way, very pigeonholed. And Lucius Fox as a character is kind of like the contrary opinion of all this stuff.
And he's just like how he is in the comic books too. And that's what's so great.
I love it. I love it.
And again, we were talking about how different this felt because again, I'm just gonna reiterate all my points I made earlier. But it was like they let the guy from Memento make a Batman movie. I gotta see this because again, this wasn't Christopher Nolan 72-point type capital letters. This was like a guy that made like a really like successful art house kind of indie film that like was very weird, very weird. And it was crazy to be like, they're doing year one. Oh my God, let's go, baby. Let's do it.
Basically.
So
Conan, I know you love this too, but I love Rutger Hauer also as the guy that's running the company into the ground. Roy Batty from
especially because Nolan used Blade Runner. Blade Runner was like a kind of vision board. He showed it to the whole crew before they started filming. Of like, hey, this is kind of what we're going for. And like, by the way, can we just we haven't got to it yet? The monorails, which he ended up ditching that eventually. But after you see what happens later on the monorails, maybe you get it. But like, it's like like the idea that like there's a city center. Like this is like we are dealing with a grounded reality, but not our grounded reality. Yeah, and I think that's so key for this movie working and sets up Dark Knight in a great way.
Yeah, like I'm a political streamer predominantly, right? Like we have fun, but we also like, and we do pop culture stuff as well. But predominantly, we're covering politics and on my stream. And what's so interesting about this movie is there's a lot of that in the movie. Like there's a lot of commentary on poverty, on like the justice system, on like Falcone, like
how often do we hear about the Narrows, right? We hear about the Narrows, which is like,
right. Yeah, I love that. I mean, this movie is like, it's seared into my head just because I've watched it a few times and I love like so many aspects of it. It's not like a perfect movie. I think The Dark Knight is better, but it's still so good in my opinion in so many levels.
And influential in good and evil ways as well. My theory is that the whole genie out of the bottle thing, that both in Oppenheimer and Zeus's Law, is Nolan being guilty about the the Snyderverse and what have you.
Bingo. Yeah, I agree there, 100%.
But you also like you see this. I mean, with like Gavin Newsom and like building the high speed rail and that not coming to fruition whatsoever, and money being kind of poured into that. Like you realize how much it takes to build that kind of infrastructure. So like it kind of puts the whole thing with Thomas Wayne sitting there and being like, oh, I built that the city was going through a depression, so I built this this entire like rail system throughout the city so that people could move from point A to point B. Like you have a new kind of appreciation for how much that actually takes. Yeah, and what I liked is Thomas Wayne was very much also a victim of racial. His name in the comics is Raish, right?
Yeah,
they pronounce it Raz al Ghul.
This is reading.
Yeah,
Raz al Ghul, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a little, but it's Raish, right? But anyway, I'll probably use both to be honest, because I'm used to the actual way you say it in Arabic, right?
Right.
I guess,
but
it's
read words versus spoken words.
Correct. I like how Raish has a big role to play in that as well, because he's basically the one who sets up the economic depression in the city. And you learn about that towards the end, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Right. Like
crazy.
this is like real disaster capitalism stuff.
Exactly.
And also
Nailed
we see
it.
it with the monorail. We see with the monorail because it's you see like the beautiful monorail when he's a kid, and then you see like it flashes to today, and like, oh, it's really broken down. It's not well maintained.
Bingo.
Like looks like an actual New York subway.
Rachel Dawes gets mugged there, right? So it's very seedy, and like the vibe is very like, how do you say?
Like Eric Adams, New York City type.
Yeah,
like,
almost like Eric Adams versus Zoran or something.
Here, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you also like you have like the Ra's al Ghul character. He was far more preoccupied with, I guess, what we would call like culture war kind of stuff. Now, like, because his whole thing about like, oh, the city has reached a new point of decadence, like Rome. You see that same kind of argument.
I
being
love
used
that.
by, like, like social conservatives constantly being like, America's failing because of our cultural decadence, and it's like it's crazy to hear like a Batman villain just being like, Gotham City is failing because of our cultural decadence. And it's like,
the socialist Joker was in the Batman movies.
He'd be a culture streamer today.
Yeah, he'd be a culture streamer.
Right? But anyway, we're still back at the temple, so let's pick it back.
Yeah, let's talk about Bhutan.
Yeah. So he burns down the temple and escapes after learning that the League believes Gotham is corrupted beyond saving and intends to destroy the city. Raj is killed by falling debris, while Bruce saves Ducard.
So Raj is killed by falling debris.
He should have saved the Asian guy. He should have let Liam Neeson get hit by the thing, and then maybe some of his problems wouldn't have happened.
Well, Watanabe is such an interesting actor.
He's great.
Again,
he always nails his parts.
Absolutely. I'm a huge fan of him.
Big fan of him too.
It's interesting that it's a head fake here, right? That it's like, okay, so the Liam Neeson of it all is like, no, he's actually Al Ghul and not.
Well, who the hell is gonna think that the white guy,
Irish dude?
I knew it was him. Well, did I? I don't remember. I watched it when I was pretty young.
I was a full grown man when I saw it in the theater. I was like, oh. Okay,
about Conan, you were 12.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
exactly.
See, but I like as a kid, I watched the Batman animated series like religiously. I'd like run home. It's incredible, and I was like, yeah, I think that might be Raish, because Raish has the beard and he's like kind of graying and he's got the blue eyes.
But then it's also like Nolan's changing a bunch of stuff around too.
So I wasn't 100%.
Yeah, because Cillian Murphy does not look like how Scarecrow looks in the anime series.
I don't remember, to be honest.
So.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. So it's like one of those things where it's like you don't really know, and that's one of the magic tricks of the movie that has been overshadowed by its much more popular sequel. That it's sort of like this was a Batman where at the time everything was on the table. There was nothing that was off the table. So it's like, I don't know, maybe he is. I don't know, maybe he's not. All right, so picking it up, intent on fighting crime and redeeming Gotham, Bruce returns to Gotham and to his family's company, Wayne Enterprises, which is being taken public by businessman William Earl.
Yep.
I do declare.
Yeah.
Earl Grey. Senator Earl Grey is singing this.
Senator Earl Grey. William Earl. Yeah, Rutger Hauer. Again, I love that Blade Runner was a vision board for him for this movie, which makes so much sense. But to have Rutger Hauer in such a different kind of role than that is great. He's not like
in my head watching it again after watching Blade Runner, like what 2 years ago we covered it. Like so after watching it, I'm like, don't leave a Dutchman in charge of your company. He's gonna take him.
Okay.
He's Dutch. I didn't know that.
Dutch like Austin Powers' dad, Forrest.
But they're just a little too industrious for my taste.
They have a history of that. Yeah. The Dutch Imperial Empire.
There's two kinds of people Forrest hates: people who never mind. I'm not gonna finish the line.
We're gonna skip right past that.
I'm racist against the Dutch.
Rutger Hauer, by the way, at this time. Now, granted, Sin City does come out the same year. He's a cardinal work in there. He's great.
Oh, I forgot about Sin City.
Which is the Frank Miller of it all is a really interesting year for 2005. But he's doing like Dracula 3 Legacy, like direct to DVD movies.
Yeah,
he's like Rutger Hauer is like working like almost too much, like a lot of direct to DVD stuff. If you want to see him in Bone Daddy, you can, which is a Canadian film that he's in. That actually
Bone Daddy.
That's
hilarious.
But what I'm getting at is that he's always, he's consistently being the guy that he is and bringing what he has to it, but hasn't been given like a lot of like great roles.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And Nolan is such a fan of what Ridley Scott did with Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick, and his character and just the whole vibe of Blade Runner that brings him in for this, even though it's not anything like that character.
I'm gonna also, he's Rutger Howard is also in Smallville at this time too. I don't know if you know.
Oh, is he really? Okay. No,
yeah, I watched recently. I was too young for Smallville when it came out, and unfortunately, like when I watched it, I couldn't catch it because I didn't have cable and all this stuff. Right? There are a bunch of reasons. It's also a kind of a long show, but I got injured in like a car accident, and I had to watch stuff, so I caught up on a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
That's funny. When I was in a car accident as well, that's when I finally got cable.
Well, I just started watching all the stuff that everybody told me to start watching. Here. So I watched two things. I watched Smallville and I watched Star Trek. I tried to watch all the Star Treks, and I'm glad I did because Smallville was a pretty good show. But it relates to this because, right, they're in the same DC universe, technically speaking. And the reasons Batman never shows up in Smallville is because of Batman Begins and The Dark Knight.
Oh, right.
That's exactly why he never shows up. He would have shown up. Yeah.
And we also got to think about it. We haven't really had a big hit because we were supposed to get the Nicolas Cage Superman directed by Tim Burton.
Here's the thing you got to remember. Context, person who was an adult when this movie came out. None of that was remotely being considered. Yeah. Like it was like, what do we got to lose? Like Batman's a dead franchise. Let's have this guy try something different. He did something cool with like almost.
We're so like the opposite. Like we are now at the point where everything is just considered like I think a little bit too much.
Extended universes.
All of these crossovers.
But that's why I'm bringing this up because Rutger Howard was in Smallville, and this is directly related to The Dark Knight.
Right.
Batman Begins and all that. And what's so interesting is he plays Morgan Edge, which if you know who Morgan Edge is in the comics of the Superman universe, he's sort of like a crime boss similar to Falcone. Who like deals with like kryptonite, and he's pretty much like a Superman villain in himself.
And that's more of the kind of role
he's good at.
Known for at the time, especially because he's in an episode of The Lex, which is a deep sci-fi nerd pull.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's very weird.
It's very good.
Horny. It's very weird. It is good, but it's weirdly horny too. It's a strange show. It's very Canadian also.
Never
but like
Bad Biology. That's a weird
he was just like a guy that was in like a lot of stuff. Like he was they did like a TV movie of Salem's Lot that everyone forgot about in TNT. Like it was, like later on, a few years later, he ends up being in True Blood. True Blood, everybody remember that?
Oh,
but I guess what I'm getting at is that like this character, it's like a different kind of role than that he gets to play. I feel like this would be norm like a Dennis Hopper or something at this point.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that it's Rutger Hauer, and it's also interesting that he kills it. But anyway, let's get back to it. Company archivist.
Wait, the other thing I want to say really quick about Rutger Hauer. I forgot about the fact that his first patron is Verhoeven. Verhoeven puts him in pretty much everything for the first two decades of his career.
Yeah. No, they had a very close working relationship.
He found him. Like he found him in a play and was like,
he's a great actor. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
that's one of the everyone else does too. That's why he's in literally everything. His
filmography
his filmography and his television filmography are like separate pages in Wikipedia. Like they go on for so long.
Like, hey, can you say something about how this will all fade like tears in the rain, please?
Yeah, please. Yeah, thanks. All right. Company archivist Lucius Fox. Hold for applause.
Yeah.
Morgan Freeman,
baby. A friend of Bruce's father, he's so good in this, allows him access to prototype defense technologies, including a protective bodysuit and the tumbler, an armored vehicle.
And what's his excuse? His excuse is, well, isn't this your company? Yeah. Like, I love that.
Yeah, it's great. And I like the tumbler too. and you have to understand too, we're coming off of like the Michael Keaton Batmobile, the Tim Burton designed Batmobile was like so like there were toys of it. There were but it was like oh my god, it is so different looking. And then
merchandise this.
But just to give you an idea of like how much different this is, Nolan gives you basically a paramilitary vehicle.
Basically.
Like and it's like, oh, okay. So this is
like the point of it is, I guess, to like jump over rivers and cables.
Make temporary bridges.
It was very practical and very like militaristic and very like but it didn't quite work out. So like they didn't want to do right. So
I like that whole explanation of how then it's also like this is because you're thinking about if it was James Bond or something, like, something like that would be a miss, but something like that's like, oh yeah, that's like that bridge thing. I don't care about
exactly. Well said.
I like also that he keeps giving Lucius Fox the most like billionaire excuses ever. He's like, oh, I'm going spelunking.
I'm going base jumping.
Yeah, that's really How many? It's like, are you a part of the billionaire spelunking class or spelunking club?
But that is the kind of stuff billionaires are still like. Oh, now I feel like
I went to Espin Island for the spelunking, not for the sex trafficking.
Who was it? There was someone that said they went for the scuba diving. One of the people was like,
oh my god, they even did that when it's always sunny in Philadelphia. I went there for the snorkeling, Frank said.
Bruce poses publicly as a shallow playboy. By the way, love those scenes. Those scenes are great. You get to see him bringing some broads into the restaurant. You know, like
correct,
awesome. Like you. Well, it's because again, sometimes you get an actor that is really good at playing Batman, but not so good at playing Bruce Wayne. And I feel like
does
Bale
a good job.
You get either or. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like Michael Keaton was the one that's really good at playing Bruce Wayne and slightly less good at playing Batman.
He was definitely great at playing Bruce Wayne for sure.
Yeah.
I like that because it's a cover for it, like obviously being Brian, because it's too obvious otherwise. Like, come on, it'd have to be somebody who's really rich. I like how they also go into like the cowl, how they like have a company in like 15 like remember that?
Yeah. Like crazily enough, I didn't remember those details of like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to order a bunch of them so it doesn't look suspicious. But it's like, because what's he gonna be sitting there like carving out and rubberized carbonite, like his own.
So, the first batch is defective, so then he can't really use right. So
they get it from China.
Exactly, they all get it from China, and they're like in 10,000. Yeah, there's like 10,000 of them.
You have to order in bulk. Yeah, which is hilarious to think about. But you see all of that. They're setting up base in the caves beneath Wayne Manor, and he takes up the vigilante identity of Batman, inspired by his childhood fear, which he has now conquered. All of the Batcave stuff rules. Like it's all the awesome.
Batcave stuff is awesome. I love how he's like conquering. Because I know you guys talked about the Bat stuff probably at the beginning when he falls down the well,
fall down the well.
That's very symbolic and very like script based in terms of like trying to get people to be like, this is him falling down this rabbit hole, right? This well, and now he's like overcoming his fear of like bats, right?
I know what my superhero name would be Car Woman.
Yeah,
because you're afraid of cars. I feel you. No, The two things I've always thought about this because people are like, oh, as a kid, I always thought there would be way more quicksand in real life. The other one is I thought way more kids were going to fall into wells.
Right.
Baby Jessica.
Everything they're always
Conan,
like, they're always like,
that?
oh, I can't go down the
very well.
I like that scene because it shows you that like this is how fears happen, right? Like fears are irrational. Really if you look up what a fear is, it's an irrational fear, or it's an irrational response to something that probably isn't something dangerous a lot of the times, right? I guess there are fears that are actually valid. My bad. So
and this goes all the way with the character back to Bill Finger writing in Detective Comics Volume 1, where he says, criminals are a superstitious, cowardly lot, so my disguise must be able to strike terror into their hearts.
Well said.
I must be a creature of the night, black, terrible. This is 1939.
Yeah,
by the way.
That's crazy. That's during the Great Depression. Yeah.
Right, exactly. I love also how
this I don't know, maybe this is like my relationship with like my grandma when I was a kid, but I love that Alfred immediately starts belittling him when Alfred pulls up the curtains or whatever.
Yeah,
and he pulls the curtain and he's like, oh, Bachelor Nocturnal, and he's like, yeah, well, billionaire playboys aren't supposed to be, and it's pushing it. It's 3 p.m. and he just sounds like he's belittling. He sounds like he's belittling like a young kid who's like, I'm
there's a fatherly nature to the relationship, which is very,
that's always been there too. It's always been there because I mean he had no
parents. Well, I mean, until they died, right? So
well, and so many aspects of
it's sad.
The plot are given so much more emphasis and oomph by the gravitas of Michael Caine. You know,
he's such a great actor.
I also like throughout the entire like trilogy of movies, we find out there's like more and more stuff that just Bruce Wayne never learned to do, like make his bed and like cook himself breakfast.
Yeah. This doesn't have those life skills. Adulting isn't his best.
This is like when my mom worked for cleaning service, where she was like kind of like she like helped rise it from the ashes or whatever, and she had to teach all these teenage girls how to like turn on a vacuum.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, oh God, they don't know how to do that.
There's no remote. I can't do it from my iPhone.
All right. Intercepting a drug shipment, Batman provides his childhood friend, Katie Holmes, an assistant district attorney, with evidence against Falcone.
Just friends.
Friends. Well, evidence. You guys mentioned she's an original character, meaning Christopher Nolan. Rachel Dawes is an original character, meaning she doesn't really she's not from the comics or any of the shows.
Like Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, was like I could do that, but with a boring character, that's really not that important.
Yeah, unfortunately, she's a little too dull. I think she's kind of like a weak spot in the movie. I don't know. I think she's okay for what she was supposed to be, that prosecutor girl. Yeah.
Brought in, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she could have been more interesting is all I'm saying. I agree there.
I like Maggie Gyllenhaal's depiction of the character better.
Yeah, she is a little bit more.
Agreed.
But you know, I mean, Katie Holmes is attracted to a eccentric, billionaire freak type. So we found that out like a year after this.
Tom Cruise, right?
I'm almost glad that the world then wasn't the world it is now, because that would have absolutely overtaken everything about this movie, and like people would not have just shut up about it at the time, because it was times like, oh yeah, ooh, messing around with the Scientology, huh? But
this was before. I think
right before they get married and have Siri. Yeah,
I looked up the timeline.
I was there, dude. It was not. It was already something that was. Whether you looked at a thing that was a report that was later or whatnot. I'm saying like it was like by the time the movie came out, it was like, oh, Katie.
Yeah, Conan, you know what? You're right, because a lot of people were like, is Suri a real baby? Was Katie?
Yeah, they may not have been pregnant? It may have been pre-Suri or whatever, but I'm literally telling you, I already knew that it and unfortunately for me, because I never watched her show or whatever, I was kind of predisposed.
Dawson's Creek.
I was never a Dawson's Creek guy. I was kind of predisposed not to be impressed because of that.
You know what's so funny about that? You know what's so funny? I remember the Dawson's Creek's intro song, because it would always play. It would always play right after Batman the animated series ended.
Oh, really?
So it's like, what?
I do remember Katie Holmes and Tom Cruise getting married like in real time, because I always used to read National Enquirer, like that kind of thing. When I was at like those kinds of like tabloids, when I was at the supermarket, I would always pick them up, because I was always waiting for like my parents to pay for the food or whatever.
So you thought Hillary Clinton was having an alien baby then, Forrest?
Oh man!
But I'm saying like I would just read through those, and so I remember when it was like Tom Cruise jumped on a couch.
Tom Cruise was making fun of Brooke Shields for her postpartum. Like that was a weird time. 2005.
So I just looked up this completely dumb fact, but yeah, they started dating at least publicly in April of this year, and this movie it basically came out kind of May. So I can tell you again. I was there, Gandalf. Because I remember being like, I was like, Tom Cruise, like, isn't he 1,000 years old? Hilarious to think about now, right? He's probably my age. But
she was, yeah.
Oh no, it's it's kind of a nothing character, so she's not really given that much to work with. I hate to say that.
Yeah.
One of my only complaints about the movie is that like,
yeah, I think that's the only complaint every critic had about the movie. That Katie Holmes is just
yeah, she got a lot of.
She called off her engagement with the American Pie guy March 2005.
Oh,
so
man.
they're dating to or whatever. Her breakup to dating is like within a month or two of
Yikes, quick turnover.
She got sold to Scientology.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. So having nothing to do with any of that, evidence against Falcone enlists Sergeant James Gordon. Pause for applause.
He nails, by the way. He looks the part. He acts the part. He Gary Oldman sounds exactly like him. Looks exactly like him.
And he played villains or freaks, basically. And Nolan's the one that puts him as like.
And now he's a good guy, right?
He's like the best dude.
Say Sergeant Jim Gordon. Say Sergeant Jim Gordon again.
Doesn't he play Sirius Black soon after this too? Right?
Yeah.
So he's also not a villain per se.
It was before. It was before this because
was it before? Okay, I don't know the timeline.
We just said Goblet of Fire.
We just talked about it. It came out.
Yeah.
Wait, say Sergeant Jim Gordon again.
Sergeant James Gordon. There we go. A few honest police officers to arrest him. I also like that too. That's very upfront. There's like police corruption is like endemic.
It's endemic. Yeah. This is
like, is it even like it's bad?
Stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
I love it.
And that obviously is hammered.
Well, his own partner that he's in the car with is like the main guy that Carmine Falcone has paid off.
Yeah, he's like, come on. He's like, come on. If you don't bite at the apple, then we're gonna all get really nervous that you're not a corrupt asshole like
which
the
is
rest
still
of us.
what cops are.
Yeah,
it's just straight up what cops are like that. Like,
literally, right?
Funny, also,
like nailed it to a T.
That Sin City comes out the same year too. That has like an exact same character. Both from Frank Miller, by the way.
Yeah, both of them.
In prison,
Frank Miller has this thing where it's like, as reactionary and conservative and like right wing as he is, like there's a distrust of cops in his whole thing that I feel like the conservatives of the moment now are like, it's not. He's not like a back the blue guy.
No, he's more like what an old school libertarian would be, but like, we're not here to psychoanalyze his politics. Speaking of psychoanalysis, in prison, Falcone meets Dr. Jonathan Caine. A corrupt psychologist who smuggles drugs into Gotham with his help. Donning a scarecrow mask, Caine sprays Falcone with a fear-inducing hallucinogen, driving him insane and having him transferred to Arkham Asylum under his care. That scene is so good where he's like, we'll take good care of him. It was just like, oh my God.
There's they also have a back and forth that doesn't pay off to like the very end of the movie where he's like,
where he gets
Well, no, but he's like the guy I'm working for wouldn't like that, and he's like, he's coming here, and you don't get like you don't know what they're talking about until like the end of the movie.
Yeah. Also, too, it's kind of interesting that Rachel's kind of going like, why are all these like crime dudes, all of a sudden having like psychotic breakdowns and
that'd be great. That was an exact quote, by the way. Crime dudes having psychotic breakdowns.
What's the deal?
And Jonathan Crane's like, nothing's happening. This is, they're just having they're finally having a break with reality. No big deal. Let me take care of them.
And I knew that was, I remember as a kid, I was like, that's Jonathan Caine is aka the Scarecrow. So that was like, okay, there you go.
That's burlap mask type of looking, burlap sack.
We know, and again, seeing this movie at the time, and we talked about earlier about how Nolan took special care not to use any of the characters used in the Burton ones or in the cheesy 90s
Thank
ones.
God, which was a great idea.
Yeah, no Riddler, no Joker in the first one, no anyone that been used before was off limits. So we got Ra's al Ghul, and we have the Scarecrow. And if you know Batman, you're like, wait, is he Scarecrow?
Scarecrow, yeah. You don't being deceived.
But you don't see him like immediately do that. You're just like, oh, I know who that guy is, which is a interesting bomb on the road, right?
Although it is Scarecrow got introduced in 1941, so it's so he's one of those characters.
Johnny come lately.
He is one of the rogues, but like again, he's
not on the A list.
He's like below. He's like an A- B+ list because he's seen a few times, but
it's fascinating to like go back to the source material that far and be like,
well, look how old Poke. I didn't know 1941. I didn't know Batman villain was much cooler in the comics than in the Suicide Squad movie.
Well, and it's interesting to go that direction rather than like because Joker is like Moriarty to Batman's Sherlock Holmes,
correct?
Basically, right? And that's one of the classic
like yin and yang kind of,
Absolutely.
Yeah, I always say that. Yeah,
you complete me.
That's why he said that. Yeah, literally yin and yang, right? Yeah.
But it's interesting with the Scarecrow, you get an almost unknown commodity for the general movie going. If you're not a total comic nerd,
correct,
you get an unknown commodity.
Well,
I just think it's fascinating how it's fascinating like how early they already had the Scarecrow as like a character in the DC comics.
He's been portrayed. I think he was also in the Batman series with Adam West. Again, there's been so many different interpretations.
I never watched
it. It was, but it was a good look. Like a lot of things with that show, it was a goofy portrayal. Well, this is like terrifying.
This is terrifying. Yeah,
he's like, I such a good job. I'm a corrupt psychiatrist with a fear-inducing toxin, so I have control. I have power, which is crazy because I feel like we've seen. I feel like that the fear toxin is based off of stuff that he actually did do to Batman and other characters in the comics or in the
it is.
Yeah. Same thing with Mad Hatter, like doing weird hypnosis and stuff like that on him.
And then
the brain control tech.
Yeah,
it's like these little cards that control like animals and people, right? So like the Mad Hatter is a little different, but like the similar concept, right?
The Joker also has the gas that makes you laugh to death, which
there's a lot of different. And what's so great about that, right, is I watched the behind the scenes of the animated Batman show. And the reason they came to that conclusion, right? The reason they did that on the animated show and it's become so popular is because according to the I think I forget his name, but he's like one of the he's one of like the creators of the show. They couldn't have the Joker in a kid's show actually kill in the kids show, right? Because that'd be like really
couldn't be the voice. He sounded
literally
so you know what they did, right? Is they literally made the people laugh to death, and that's why they had that which
really is almost terrifying. Like more like
it's worse. It's worse. I know.
Yeah, very much like that.
So it's great because
and this is Fox Kids, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. This is exactly. And I saw that on the DVD, like on the Blu-rays when I bought them, and I was blown away. I was like, wow, I didn't know that. But that was this is where like the restrictions to the material actually made it better. Yeah, it's great. So it's funny.
And I mean that was Saturday morning cartoons. It's crazy.
Exactly. Well said.
Well, just in the original, like in the Adam West version, not the Adam West Batman. I always found like Cesar Romero kind of a terrifying presence too, because of how little effort they put into like the makeup and stuff like that.
They covered his mustache. He wouldn't shave it off. That was his signature.
Yeah,
that's right.
But you kind of just see like a middle-aged man, like you clearly see like a middle-aged man under that makeup.
Psychotic.
That somehow makes it.
Something ain't right.
That somehow makes it.
Exactly. This dude's got a couple screws loose somehow.
Yeah.
While investigating Caine, Batman is sprayed with the hallucinogen. He is saved by Alfred and Fox, who develop an antidote for it.
See that
that's like what happened to Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is like what happened to Arnold Schwarzenegger on the set of Twins.
The set of Twins.
I love that you get to see, that like they work together, right? It's a team.
And it's a team. It's not just him doing everything. I love that. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, and it's deployed. It's harrowing, but also like how it's resolved is like realistic.
Yeah,
he lights them on fire, and the reason the suit kind of protects him is because like Morgan Freeman talks about Lucius Fox talks about how the Nomex survival suit is like resistant to a lot of this stuff. So it just like all pairs so well. Like everything flows incredibly well. Yeah.
And I feel, you're right. And I feel like there's something that unfortunately, we get a lot of showing and telling now. We're like, well, as we all know, that is both bulletproof and fireproof. And it's like, well, okay.
They show it.
Can we see
Yeah.
it?
And that's like the Netflixization of everything now.
Vertical
people announce it
dramatization too.
because people are doom scrolling the entire time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
Well
that.
said.
I was going to say, because people are looking it down at their phones, they're like, you
Like,
have to have
what happened?
extra exposition now. Because
Yeah.
they're like, oh, these shows are fully disposable.
Exactly. That's how a lot of these things are like now. You're absolutely right.
You have to explain. Everything has to be
Nobody
explained
pays
over and over
attention,
and over
yeah.
again for people to notice, and it's like,
Bingo. Because everyone's on their
Right.
scroll on their phones. Yeah. Well said.
When Rachel confronts Caine, he reveals that he has introduced his drug into Gotham's water supply and drugs her.
he's scary. I love it.
So introducing things into the water supply is like such an old concept, but I kind of dig it because it's sort of like taking something. It works. First of all,
Everyone
it still would
uses
be very
water.
effective as someone who's actually, as a day job, been in public works. That would actually be very effective, especially some municipalities. But I think that it's cool taking something that would like work in 1939 or 1940 as a threat, but then also put it with like, okay, it has to be aerosolized.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aerosolized. Yep.
Thank you for saying that word because I was gonna butcher it. But they have that machine. They're like, oh, what's this machine though? It turns water into gas form. It's like, oh, okay. Well, so there you go.
It's and I like that. That was another cool weapon that like Wayne Tech kind of shows that like it's sort of like a seedy company under Rutger Hauer, because it vaporizes the enemies, or really in this case the public's water supply in like Iraq and Afghanistan, which, let's be honest, guys, there isn't that much like clean water to begin with in these areas. So that's a pretty fucked up thing to do.
It's 2005, so we had like just
2 years into this war.
This is the larger point of this. This is War on Terror Batman. This is the Batman after post Patriot Act, and we certainly get into that in the Dark Knight, don't we?
Yeah. And I saw all that, right? I saw all that, and I still watch the movie, and I'm like, oh wow, like that's what they're commenting.
It's messed up.
It's messed up, and it's so political, and that's what I was talking about earlier, guys. That this is a very political Batman at the same time. I mean, Batman's always been political, but especially this version of him, which I love, and that's why.
But the class consciousness is very forward.
Yeah, it's very class consciousness. Yep.
Yeah.
Well said.
Two things to I guess bring up about the Gotham's water supply thing. One, which I guess is less important to the to like this moment, but in 1968 there was this ongoing fear that they were gonna put acid into the water supply, which they later,
the Timothy, because Timothy Leary I think it was Leary was like maybe we'll do that. And then everyone's like, oh my god, don't do that.
Honestly, the last good plot in General Hospital that impacted the entire town was Sebastian Roche, the well-known like actor who's played villains and stuff like that. You'd recognize him if you saw him. He played Jerry Jacks on General Hospital, where he poisoned the water supply and people would die in 24 hours if they didn't have an antidote. I'm like, that was a good storyline, good villain stuff.
The second thing I wanted to bring up here is the anthrax scare.
Yeah, right. Did we ever figure out who did it?
No, they never figured out who did it.
I remember
the guy
that.
who they thought he killed himself, but it's like maybe he did it because he didn't want like to be under
pressure. They never found any actual evidence that it was like one of those media things, like they did with the Boston bomber, where the media kind of threw out a name.
Well said. Good point.
Caine is captured. He claims to work for Ra's al Ghul.
Ra's al Ghul, and the way he says it too, right?
Again, the way Cillian Murphy
so good.
said certain things, I'm like, yes, the emphasis, the enunciation, I love it.
And that's another thing. So and I'm glad you brought that up, Kristina, because I think there's something, as much as this is very much grounded in a post-war on terror world, it's almost unclear in a lot of ways, except for some of the technology, of course, like what era it is. Right, like it's something like a lot of it feels like it could be happening 10 years ago or 20 years until you see the tech and
I always love those kind of movies. I always love those kind of movies, TV shows, and games, right? Because games are very much in this. But
like what Fallout, right? Like
Fallout,
that kind of like retro futurism.
You don't know exactly what year it is, and that's always great because it leaves for more imagination for the audience, right? Exactly. Well,
imagine the 2026 version of a Batman movie where Trump brings Ra's al Ghul to the Oval Office.
He's a new Secretary of State. Yeah, Ra's al Ghul.
They call him
The new Secretary of
Raz
State,
al
guys.
Ghul.
Mr. Raz Al Ghul.
Yeah, Raz al Ghul.
Like that.
RFK Jr. quits and Scarecrow gets put as Health and Human Services.
Yeah, Scarecrow has Health and Human Services.
He's a great doctor, very, very qualified, very smart guy.
He's like, yes,
Dr.
yes,
Jonathan Crane.
He's
new
like
Health and Human
fluoride.
Services.
He's great, guys. He's great.
He's like fluoride in the water is bad. My drugs that I make in my
Fear
my
drug,
private
great.
Arkham Asylum. Good, we're putting that in the water now
That's
instead
good.
of fluoride.
Yeah. So funny.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Batman saves Rachel and administers the antidote
Right.
at Bruce's birthday party, which just dipped on that.
After being told, like, hey, you got to keep up appearances, man. Like, it's gonna, be weird if you don't.
He just
love-
peaced out.
Yeah, it's like,
I love.
He's like, I did what I had to do.
Alfred,
Bye.
He tells.
Well, it's not
Alfred,
even.
tell that one joke,
Yeah.
Like, of course, the first thing that pops into my head is pull my finger. Pull my
Yeah,
finger.
right. From Children of Men. Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, and I love that in the birthday party, he just goes at that monologue of just like, all you freeloaders, get these beggars out of here. It's like totally like
Someone get these beggars out of here. That's why they chose Robert Pattinson as the new Batman.
but like when he's trying to like get everyone out of the building, it's that same sort of thing where it's like, wow, you seem like a real a-hole, but like he's doing it to like, save their lives and get them out of there because of the fire. But yeah,
I instantly think about the Bilbo speech on his birthday, where he's like, I know half of you half as well as I should like, and the other half as well as you deserve. That speech that he gives everyone. Where he's like,
exactly.
I never linked the two. That's a great point.
Yeah,
got him.
Got him.
At Bruce's birthday party, Descartes reveals himself to be the true Ra's al Ghul. I am the true Ra's al Ghul.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I always, as a kid, I was like, isn't it pronounced Ra's al Ghul? Like, I was just like,
Did it just make it sound more foreign that way? Like, I feel like that's why they did it. I'm like,
I will say one thing that I that we haven't talked about, especially with the Falcone scene. That was a little bit before this, right? When he reveals to Gotham the Batman mantra. Remember when he pulls him out of the car and he's like, "I'm Batman," right?
Yeah.
The one complaint that I would say about this movie that I have, and that my parents at the time mentioned, that I actually think is still kind of relevant, is that the action is a little too dark and it's hard to see exactly what's going on.
I mean,
Now,
Christopher Nolan's still having that problem.
Yeah,
I need a flashlight. I feel
like
like there's always 1 or 500 letterbox
and I
one-liners
think
where
this
it's like,
movie-
where's the lighting? Where's the flashlight? I need one.
exactly. And I think this movie, like, you could make an argument, at least I think you could, right? That this movie kind of popularized that in going forward. Because if you watch movies before with this kind of like superhero action, there wasn't that much like dark, like you could barely see the fighting or the. I understand like that's how Batman is, because like that's what I told my parents, but it was like a valid critique that I think still kind of holds up well, because it is kind of hard to see some of the action, especially in the dark. Yeah.
Right. So you're sacrificing some of the action for the vibe, basically.
Exactly.
And by the way, you gotta love like that snare trap situation, right? Where he's like, I don't know, I swear to God. He's like, swear to me. It's like, oh my God.
That was really good, right? Yes.
It's like, do I look like a cop? It's like, oh no, you don't, sir.
No, you
Sorry.
Like, throw it down.
Yes.
Well, maybe now with police militarization, but
well, unfortunately, see, learning the wrong lessons, right?
Yeah. Ice.
But there still is kind of an ongoing complaint about Christopher Nolan not being the best at shooting action sequences.
Bingo.
Yeah.
So I will critique that.
It's either usually dark. Or he's usually like a certain perspective that people are like, I don't like this perspective.
I don't like it. Yeah, and like I think that's one thing. I remember I went to the theater with my mom and my dad to watch that movie the first time, and they said that's the thing they didn't like the most of it. And I was like, fair. I think that's actually held up pretty well in terms of that critique. But yeah, I guess Christopher Nolan in general, right?
I think the Dark Knight, he's a little bit better at shooting.
He's better at it. Yes.
That's what I was just gonna say. I think
Much
you're right.
better.
It's a little bit more.
A little better, yeah.
Whoa, Conan, what happened there?
I was more warped into the next dimension. Sorry. Not again.
Having stolen a powerful microwave emitter from Wayne Enterprises, might want to put that in earlier in the explanation. He plans to vaporize Gotham's water supply, rendering Crane's drug airborne and causing mass hysteria that will destroy the city. Again, the anthrax thing.
Yeah.
And I like how they revealed this too. Do you remember how they revealed this? This whole point in the movie where Morgan Freeman is figuring this shit out himself. He's like, well, I mean, they did. It's like, see, this toxin isn't powerful enough, or it won't do anything if you just ingest it in the water. Like if you drink the water, nothing will happen. But then he's like, but they did steal a microwave emitter from
Where's that microwave emitter?
Where's that microwave emitter they stole? And you're like, oh no.
You're like,
it's great.
It's brilliant. It's not going to do anything if it's not going to do anything if you just drink the water. And then he's like, wait a second. Hey, earlier in the movie, didn't I say that they stole a microwave emitter?
Exactly. The way he does it is great. Yeah.
Real quick.
Don't tell, right? That's the way it was. Yeah. It's so good.
So the people getting mailed anthrax thing definitely in the zeitgeist at the time.
Correct.
Interesting to notice that the origins of the LSD in the water thing, that's a CIA, by the way. People who distribute is that Ken Kesey? Is that it's like no, it's the freaking CIA. They were like, let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah. But during they tried to blame the CIA did do that. And then during the 1968 DNC, they tried to blame the yuppies. They were like,
"That's right."
They had the people standing guard in Chicago in front of the reservoir with guns. Even though they had done the math, they're like, it would take, which the CIA didn't know until a little bit before this because they were doing those kinds of experiments. But they were like, it would take a lot, like it would take an unmanageable amount of acid.
Yeah, there's no way you could have enough. But then Ken Kesey and the Merry Pranksters, they did the whole like electric Kool-Aid acid test thing. I mean, that's a whole like, it's fascinating. Just look that up if you want to get flagged by your job for searching for things you shouldn't be. But
there was a really good episode of TrueAnon they did recently about SantaCon, that stupid New York City thing that they have. But starting with Ken Kesey and the Merry Pranksters as kind of the formulation behind that, and then going all the way into like it got bought up by corporation after corporation.
Bingo.
Yeah. And basically it would just cost way too much to even try it on a small city. Like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of asset. Anyway, whatever. That has nothing to do with the plot. Let's get back at it.
Well, you mentioned that Raish reveals himself as the one doing all this stuff behind the scenes, and he there's a really powerful scene because if you don't read the comics or don't know much about Batman, he says, "Remember, I'm immortal." And then he says, no, you're using cheap parlor tricks because he did the deflection on. Well, the reason they mentioned the immortality thing is because
he always has to throw himself into that thing. That,
they don't want to mention the pool and the
exactly,
like it's too much.
Too unrealistic and it's too magical and woo woo. So I was like, oh, that's clever. And I remember like when I first saw that, I was like, that's a realistic way of doing it. Like that it's like this, like he's like always deceiving people, even like people that he wants to take under his wing to train them or something. I thought that was really smart.
He actually calls up Bruce Wayne on the phone. He says, "I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want."
He doesn't take it. Yeah.
Exactly.
I have a very particular set of skills.
Exactly. I love
and
that.
I've been accused of man's laughter.
I will find you.
I still find that so funny.
I know, it's amazing, dude. I love it, man. I'm with you.
So he sets Wayne Manors aflame, but Alfred rescues Bruce.
And I like why they do it. Why does he do it? Why doesn't he just like shoot him? Because I think a lot of these like movies end up, or like even a lot of like the superhero stuff in general, why doesn't the villain just kill him now that he has a chance, right? And Raish would do something like that.
Well, to a certain degree, he's also still considers him a student, and that like he still thinks that he can turn.
I like all that, and he's very reciprocal, right? He says, "Well, you left me for dead and burned down my house. I'm gonna do the same for you." Right, and that's like what's so brilliant about the movie is that like you can't really argue that point with Raish because he literally has said that from the get-go, right? So they established this script really well.
Yeah, well,
I really like that.
The thing, he says he's like vengeance is the most like
exactly. That's what he says from the get-go, right? Bingo.
The League of Shadows frees Caine and the other inmates from Arkham while Roz loads the emitter onto Gotham's monorail to release the drug at the city's central water source under Wayne Tower.
Well,
he also rescues Rachel from the mob too. Like that's
correct.
Like, an important thing.
Yeah, she's gonna get canceled. So what are you gonna
do? Katie Holmes is still in this picture at that time.
Batman reveals his identity to Rachel before confronting Roz on the train. Gordon uses the tumbler's cannon, and Batman leaves Roz to die as the train crashes. I love that line where he's like, I'm not gonna kill you myself, but I could just leave you on the train.
I'm not gonna save you. That's so Batman. Yeah. Batman would do that. Yes, that's 100% where I was like, brilliant. That's what you would do.
And it really tees up in the Dark Knight when he's like, you're gonna break your one rule tonight.
Well, and how great in 2005 that we have a train motif.
Yeah.
Right. And that it's plausible. It's plausible because it's set up in the city. Like, okay, the monorails all go to this big building. This building like is like the center of like, these city works, blah, blah, blah. And it's all like right there for you. But like, well, of course that'd be a huge
It's so weaved into the story. It's so
and
good.
now we think about that all the time. Like everyday people would think about that.
Exactly.
But like but we hadn't been trained at that point to think that way.
Yeah,
it was,
it's a brilliant script. The more you examine it, the more you're like, wow, a lot of this stuff just works so well.
It also gets to the bottom of like the public-private partnership thing where a company like Enterprises is so crucial to like a city's infrastructure because our city governments don't really do anything anymore.
They don't, and that's why like the Thomas Wayne doing all this stuff and really like trying to get the city out of this economic depression that he has no real like understanding of why this stuff is happening, but it's because of Raish, right? So it's almost like the new like his son is now taking over, and I love that. Yeah, I love that aspect of the movie.
I also love that we get Gary Oldman blasting the train tracks, right?
Yes.
And he's such a like it's all automated. He's like, what's that? It's the closest thing we get to comedy where he's like completely out of his element, but he's of course he's trying to.
He's like very goofy.
He's so thrown off balance that his British accent slips back in. Which is threatening to do for like a lot of the movie. Rachel now respects Bruce but refuses to be with him. I hate when that happens.
Yeah, always, right? Just kidding. God, the girl. Just kidding. Can't win the girl.
We're like
they never win the girl for some reason.
I don't know what it's like to be respected, but promising to be together when Gotham no longer needs Batman. Batman becomes a public hero. After purchasing a controlling stake in Wayne Enterprises, Bruce fires Earl and replaces him with Fox.
Hell yeah, because you think he's gonna be like, well, I'm taking over now, and then it's like, oh no, it's Lucius. Of course it is. No, that's a way more better choice. Like that's great.
Because from like the get-go, you see that that his dad really looked into like a lot. He really looked up to him as a part of like a board member. He gave him like a ton of responsibilities, and then it was Earl who like kicked him out of this stuff and kicked him to the basement, right? So I like how he has that like ascending moment where he's respected again for his work, right? And the fact that he's a good character. Yeah, exactly. It's well done.
Gordon is promoted to lieutenant. Almost there, buddy. Shows Batman the bat signal and tells him about a criminal who leaves behind Joker playing cards. I bet that's the Riddler.
Yes.
And we all knew who that was, right? The Joker.
Yeah, the Mad Hatter. Wait, I mean the Joker. Damn it.
Hey, he plays cards too now.
He does.
It's Doc Ock. No, wait, wrong.
Yeah,
Batman glides away into the night to investigate.
But remember what he says? What does he say at the end?
He said, like, Batman has begun.
He's like,
I am Batman and I am beginning right now.
Look, what is he
Batman
saying?
begins, bitch. we turned right to the camera and directly addressed the audience when he said that too.
We did. We did.
He looks at the
different
camera, he goes, Batman has begun. Now Dark Knight is beginning.
Exactly.
Right.
Suddenly loquacious about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you want to kill me?
Why do you want to kill me?
I don't want to kill you. Yeah.
So there you go. That's about Batman Begins. Rate this movie out of 10. We're gonna do that in final thoughts, which is not what this is. These are the Letterboxd one-liners. Because Letterboxd Scores is a place for film lovers to talk out with to each other about the movies they love, maybe the movies that they didn't love, maybe the movies they just wanted to say they had an unnatural crush on Dr. Caine. And of course, everyone gets to have their say, not just Siskel's and Eberts of the world. To bottom up democracy, everyone gets to chime and opine about the movies, and that is best expressed for the purposes of this bit succinctly, where they are collected by yours truly for Forrest and the panel to respond to in real time. That's what these are. These are the Letterboxd one-liners for Batman Begins. Let's roll them. This is what my parents are worried will happen every time I go to New York City.
Oh my God. Because that's what my mom says. She's like, you're not going in the city by yourself. I'm like, Mom, I am more safe in New York City at like 3 o'clock in the morning than I am here in broad daylight at 3 p.m. What are you talking about?
The Batman is grouching at people. It's fine.
My grandma lives half an hour from New York City, and it's still like, oh, it's crime infested. Like, no, you just watch Fox News every day.
Yeah,
that's where you get your information from.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fox News.
Fox News.
Batman as an analyst on CNN. All right. Can't take Liam's
fantastic hair. I just read the chat. Cool show. Yeah, thank you, Josephus. I'm reading some of the comments. Sorry, guys. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed like our banter on this. It's a great movie, right? So yeah.
Can't take Liam Neeson's Asian goatee seriously in this.
No. It's racist against who exactly?
Is it? I don't know. That's how he looks like in the comics.
Yeah,
man.
You can tell he's probably definitely not completely white, but you know.
But I mean, okay, this is where I will. No, because okay,
didn't expect this to be this contentious, but go ahead. Yeah.
No, because
I'm only saying this.
Do you guys know Dr. Bashir from
of course,
from Deep Space Nine?
Yeah.
Dr. Bashir is Arabic, and he actually looks pretty similar to Ra's al Ghul, and he plays Ra's in the Gotham TV show.
It's kind of crazy how he has like
he looks exactly like him, and he does the goatee too. So, there you go.
It's kind of crazy how they got like the look, you know, like
I knew it was him.
Ra's al Ghul steps out of the shadows and go, pray to Jah, it is I, Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah. Clearly, he's supposed to be like. So, Sid, right? That's his name, Sid. His name is really long if you look it up. But Dr. Bashir, the guy who plays Sid, right? It's a very long name, so we could look it up. But Sid, I think his name is El Sedig, right? He is like a Sudanese and British, and I was like, wow, he looks exactly like he nails the part of.
Right, we gotta make it through these one-liners.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ugh, I'm so sick. I need a doctor. Specifically, Jonathan Crane, though.
Yeah.
That was Kristina that wrote that as her alt, I think.
Yeah.
Tripping balls and flying through Gotham in the Batmobile must have been a crazy experience.
Amazing.
Batman playing.
That's why he gives it's that one scene he gives Rachel like a sedative or whatever, and he takes her because he's like, it's gonna be too the Batmobile is too much.
It's not gonna be a good time for you.
imagine like
it gives her some orange slices.
No, but imagine you go out to like you go out to the bar and you go on one of those like bar crawls or whatever. Imagine getting the Batmobile after that. You're like,
I thought you were gonna say imagine you go to the bar and people are like, hey, yo, you fear gassing tonight?
I got some. You fear gassing?
Hey, I could probably get you that if you want, Conan.
That's hilarious.
Galaxy gas.
Why go to therapy when you can run around the city doing parkour dressed up as a bat instead?
Exactly.
True.
My point.
I mean, it sounds so much less cool when you describe it that way, but
Yeah.
parkour.
Parkour.
That's what these comments are. They're funny, right? I don't take the goatee thing very seriously, but I've heard stuff like that before, so it makes sense. Anyway, yeah.
Imagine though Batman with that goatee.
That would be hilarious, yeah.
Hi, Batman. I didn't have time to shave this week. Sorry.
It's for Saber.
Oh man.
I respect all cultures, and I apologize if you guys thought this goatee looked too Asian. Sorry.
Sorry.
Instead of turning him into a demon, the fear gas should have given Batman suits nipples.
Oh, come on. I got PTSD from the Joel Schumacher movie.
He's smoking on that fear gas, and then he's like,
oh, sorry. Oh, I don't know why this is happening.
Imagine everyone else gets really afraid, but he gets nipples.
Oh no, the bat nipples.
That's his greatest fear.
Batman looked disgusting in his suit, nipples protruding. Very disrespectful.
Okay.
Could not take Bruce Wayne seriously whenever he wore a suit. Like, I'm sorry, that's just Patrick Bateman to me.
Oh my god, that's so true. Because of the American Psycho movie. That is, oh man. You know what? I just in the back of my head though.
I just don't think it was fair. I don't think it was fair when he told Alfred, "Cool it with the anti-Semitism."
and also, I can't have a date tonight, ladies. I gotta return some videotapes.
Yeah, they turned on Huey Lewis in the news, started dancing around. It was crazy.
Mr. Wayne, you need to have at least somebody that you talk to. I've got to go return some videotapes, Alfred.
Hilarious.
Batmobile breaks down walls. My car breaks down standing still. There's levels, mate.
Did Alfred write that? There's levels, mate.
There's levels, mate. Yeah,
there's levels, mate. Mr. Wayne. Pull my finger, Mr. Wayne.
Mr. Wayne. Pull my finger.
I'm not gonna do that, Alfred.
I know what happened, Alfred. I know what happened last time.
No, I swear, it's something different. Pull my finger.
You can't get me with that again.
Throat cancer Batman is the best Batman. That is the best timed one-liner that has ever happened in the history.
I agree.
Bit,
that's pretty good. But like,
Batman got it from giving too much head.
Oh shit! Oh snap!
Oh, the Michael Douglas thing. Yeah.
Douglas. Okay.
I understood it why he did that. Right? It was a very practical reason. But yeah. The little voice changer, right?
Mm-hmm. On its own, it's a little ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, though. Yes, exactly. It's funny.
I got this voice from giving too much head.
All right. That's enough. Men would rather train with ninjas and spend millions to play dress up than go to therapy.
Oh shoot!
There you go. Millions.
Well, what's a therapist gonna say? I'm sorry your parents died. I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well said.
Well, there you go. There you go. There's a Letterboxd one-liners for Batman Begins. Please follow the show on our Letterboxd HQ account at Movie Night Extra, where we have all the great content that we cover on all the movies we cover in the show, episodes posted up, summaries, attended short form content, all that great stuff. Rasta Al Ghulman. That's your host at Forrest Miller there. At Always Flacco. You can follow him for all his Letterboxd logs.
Swear to me
that you'll follow me at Conan Neutron on Letterboxd. Following the Highbrow, Midbrow, Populous Fair, moving right along. Criterion Challenge. About closing it out. Pretty good for August, I gotta say.
Yeah, you had like 9 last a couple episodes ago.
You guys have great patrons. Love them.
Other than this and Protonic, guys have been sitting around. That's why I watch a lot of movies. By the way, last movie I watched before this, Breaking the Waves, Lars von Trier. So talk about a change up. Jesus Christ. All-time bummer. Cillian Murphy's Slutty Glasses is at Christina over there. As always on Letterboxd at Christina. Follow her along for whatever she's doing on this blockbuster journey, this Nolan journey that we're going as well. Let's hit it.
My Spider-Man. So.
Let's hit it with the plugs.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and then hit the bell to get notified whenever we're streaming. And we'd humbly request that you watch the video to the end, because it helps us with the algorithm and helps more film fans to discover the show. We're also monetized. If you want to get your chat questions definitely read on stream, you can always send us a super chat, which will help us keep the show going. Every cent helps. If you're watching on Twitch, you can gift us a free sub on Amazon Prime with your Prime membership, but getting subs on Twitch is always appreciated, and it helps to follow us on there as well. We also have an audio feed, which is available wherever you download podcasts if you prefer to listen to podcasts rather than watch the stream. That's updated usually the same day we stream, but watching on YouTube and Twitch is the best way to get the show first, live as it happens. If you want to support us with a monthly donation and get access to all of our after parties forever, which go patron only after we do them, you can become a patron at patreon.com/movie night extra. Link is in the description for that. It really helps us keep the show going since we do have some expenses to make this happen. We also have a Discord community. Link is in the description for that. We sometimes watch movies we cover on there. We get into conversations about everything from film to TV shows to related podcasts. We even have a Discord channel for memes. It's really fun on there. You can find us on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, and Threads. You connect with us on all of those. Talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. Lastly, we recently made a TikTok at Movie Night Extra where we're putting up short form clips from the episodes. Okay, passing this to Conan so he can tell you about his music and this week's Protonic Reversal. Conan, who's on Protonic this week?
Yeah, that's right. So we got Blog Dolly of the Dwarves coming on this Thursday, which should be great. He's a very, very clever, very intelligent, funny individual. And then doing a special Protonic this Saturday with Michael Hampton of Parliament Funkadelic.
Oh, wow.
Guitarist for Parliament Funkadelic.
Wait. You're gonna get up the funk?
Yeah, I will. Yeah,
we'll see. So awesome.
We'll see how the show goes. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But yeah, it's so. Yeah,
it's probably fucking up, man.
Well, I'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I can talk when I come on this show. Yeah. So that's coming up on Saturday,
You're
and
about to
then
turn his mother out.
Dave Catching of Rancho de la Luna Studio, Eagles of Death Metal, Queens of Stone Age, Desert Sessions et al. Coming back on the show for the first time since 2019. Actually, I didn't realize it had been that long on Monday. So all that is happening. I'm doing 3 episodes of the show before we come back on to talk about Dark Knight. So I'm making up for lost time in July. I had a lot of people to reschedule on me. So ProtonicReversal.com for that, Patreon.com/ProtonicReversal, $1 a month advance access for all that. Trying to do a bit of a patron drive. And doing a pretty poor job of it, frankly, but it's it all helps. There's a lot of good stuff coming up beyond just that. That's just for the next week, so keep up with Protonic. That is that. Conan Neutron, the Secret Friends, as everyone here is tired of hearing, going on tour West Coast again, San Francisco,
going on tour to the West Coast.
Going on tour to the West Coast. Do it. San Francisco, Sacramento, Eureka, Portland, Seattle, and those our shows are all with the Null, so that's going to be a great time. Of course, Caterwaul West has now been announced. We are playing Los Angeles on Caterwaul West, which I'm throwing Friday the 4th, Saturday the 5th with Mike Watt and the Second Men, Gaithias, Elephant Rifle, Mod Pods, Leopold. Going to be an amazing time. I don't have flyers uploaded for them yet, but we also have Detroit, and we have Milwaukee, and we have Minneapolis coming up on the 11th, 12th, and 13th of September, with more stuff coming up this fall as well. NeutronFriends.com for all that.
You did a month earlier. You could have gone to each place and then campaigned for
I know.
I like Abdul Al Saeed.
I know.
Boston.
We do, my guy. We just played Boston last month. Like seriously,
Wow.
June into June.
Tours all over the country. So
oh my god, that's so fun.
We played Western Mass too. We played
we
played Northampton.
Area, yeah.
But but it was the first. But Boston and Japan, yeah, that's right. We played Japan last year.
Japan, that's awesome.
Yeah, I hadn't played Western Mass in a really long time. We played Boston last year, so
that's where Sam Cedar's from.
Yeah, we've had him on the show.
Yeah.
We played Middle East. If you know Middle East, that's where we played.
I'm from Eastern, I'm from the Boston area, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to Worcester. For,
the Middle East is in Boston.
Yep,
well, I mean,
it's in Cambridge.
Cambridge.
That's my stomping ground.
You're going to Worcestershire Falls, Massachusetts, Forrest?
I'm going to Worcester for I guess my friend hit me up last night.
Going to Worcester.
Last night it was like, hey, I'm going to an EDM festival in Worcester, like the week before my birthday, and I was like, I don't have any money, and he's like, all right, well, you can pay me back, and I was like, well, all right, I guess I'm going. So I'm going to like two EDM things in a row, I guess, week back to back.
Wow.
So unfortunately, I didn't know you a month ago, Gus, because we literally just played. It was like weeks ago.
Oh my god, no! This has been so much fun. I really appreciate it, and please.
Well, we're not done yet. We're not even done with my plugs actually, but
okay, go
yeah.
on.
NeutronFriends.com, CaterwaulWest.com as well. Pay attention to all that. I got some other some cool surprises coming up for fall as well. Kristina, what do you got?
Well, today is my official affiliate anniversary. Twitch 5 years.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
go.
Going.
I streamed for 72 hours, and I'm still gonna be going even after this because 3:00 a.m. I'm done, and then I'm gonna sleep. But then tomorrow, 5 p.m. on Kristina's Corner in the Space, I'm interviewing Taylor Lorenz about some of the anti-children, tech stuff that's been going on, all the free speech suppression that's been going on.
She's
so that's
a big
interesting.
advocate of that.
Yeah.
You gotta ask her. You gotta ask her how much money she spends on AI.
I know, right? And then also,
She
guys,
hates it, yeah.
if you want to join this space, have your own show, let me know. We're trying to expand. I'm part of the team now to recruit people. It's always the plotting. And then we're gonna be doing live election coverage this Tuesday, and then the following Tuesday, because it's not just this Tuesday where there's a bunch of leftist DSA primaries. Next Tuesday as well. So
time ain't nothing but a number. That's good. Yeah,
that's exactly right. So I'm looking forward to that. Also, I heard I'm going to Graceland in November.
Oh, really?
With my mods. Yeah, we're gonna spend the night in Graceland. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be lots of fun. I'm probably gonna live stream.
As many times as I've played Nashville, I've never been to Graceland.
Yeah,
and Memphis as well. I've been to the Sun Studios tour. I've never done Graceland.
I got my leather jumpsuit. I'm gonna wear that to honor Elvis and Lisa Marie, and I'm gonna cry and bawl my eyes out by her grave and leave a bunch of flowers. So that should be exciting. Should be very exciting.
Great. That's crazy because they used to call you the Elvis of Modesto.
Nobody said that.
So I'm really looking forward to the Taylor Lorenz interview. She's like, just because there were some hearings and stuff that she wants to talk about.
She's gonna be like, Taylor's not here. This is Claude.
But yeah, I've been having fun doing my stream-a-thon. I've done like about 10 dabs of the bomb from Hot Ones and the last dab experience.
Why? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't know what that is, that context list, that's a crazy sentence. That's
it's the Hot Ones when they do the wing sauce.
I know, I got it. I had to have it explained to me, but I got it.
That is the only one of the wings like the sauces that they do on Hot Ones that I'm like, I would try that. But I'm a crazy person. I like trying to get
it's just fire. And I'm surprised that everyone's like, how's your butthole? I'm like, it's fine. That's the thing. It's just my tongue.
Tell me you gotta become tell me you gotta become a patron to find out. Boom.
I was gonna say top 10 cents.
I do the same thing.
Yeah. So I'll be going live after the show, guys. So don't worry, I'll be back. I'm not leaving you.
Top 10 things to hear in the Batman voice. How's your butthole?
Well, it was fine. It's pretty clenched up now.
Oh, wow,
Guys, what you got going?
Me, I'm gonna be covering the Abdul Al Sayed primary tomorrow as well, so we'll watch that live. But and I'm just I'm a new streamer myself, guys, so I went to school for political science and international relations, so I kind of discovered Twitch and streaming and podcasting and all this stuff right recently. So I've been doing it for about a year now, so it's very interesting. And you can find me at GusX Broadcast on Twitch.
Well, if it holds true to other people we've had on the show that Kristina's brought in, you're going to be gigantic in a year and a half.
Yeah, that's usually what happens.
Somehow lose our number. I'll say it. She's too nice.
Yeah, I was kind of rude. I mean, I did post a DM from someone, and everyone's like, "Damn, that's
you didn't
bitch.
tag them. Of course, that person, I called them out and they instantly blocked me. I was like, "Oh, like you did to Kristina," and then the person just instantly.
Anyway, whatever. Classic after party material, and there's no after party tonight. So
there's after party in my stream after this, though, guys.
There you go. Go follow Kristina.
There's an after party on Kristina's stream.
That's why I rated you.
Christian Bale Batman announcing an after party is the least effective messenger you could ever have. Everyone's gonna run the other way.
Party? He's Batman.
Yeah. So other than that, I can't think of much. It's just that's what I do on my stream. I cover politics from like a left-wing perspective. So it's awesome
you'd be perfect
to do
for this
these kind of
space then.
things. Yeah.
You should go on this space. We're always looking for people.
I would love to do that. Yeah. Are you guys affiliated with them or?
Normally we simulcast on them, but we did a different day today.
I would love to
normally. So.
Yeah.
Well, but because Matt's stepping back, Kristina's kind of like Kristina's now like one of the head people in the organization.
Yeah.
What? That's
I
crazy.
don't want
Congrats,
Andrea
girl.
being.
It's like the League of Shadows, but on the internet.
Yeah, I really like because Andrea is kind of like everything's. I'm like let me take some of that load off of you. Like.
Andrea, yeah, exactly. You want as your ambassador.
So like one of the things I was interested in this podcast to like appear because you guys were talking about a really good movie that I like. And before I decided to do what I do in terms of like my degree in college, I actually was thinking of becoming like a film director or a film being into film. I love this aspect.
I got my degree in.
Yeah, so I love this aspect of storytelling. Yeah, I think it's so important, and I always say even on my stream that like culture is very much downstream from politics, right? Or politics is very much downstream from culture. So like, you can take movies like this and very much like see like what time period they were like, right? Like we talked about the post 9/11, like post Iraq War era, and not only that, just that, but it's just like all the. Like a good script will have all these elements that we just talked about. And I love that aspect of storytelling in film. So yeah, that's why I was interested and you guys didn't disappoint. Thank you.
Yeah, we do it every week and we've done for 5 years now. Is that how long it's
5 years?
Yeah, 5 years. So,
wow, that's crazy.
Got any final thoughts on old Batman Begins there, Gus? That we didn't get to?
Well, I did mention the action. That was like one critique that is kind of that was interesting to me, and I think that you could easily I'm trying to think don't
have to be critiques. It can just be anything you just didn't get to in the you missed the first 40 minutes of the show.
True. So yeah, I like
look at me, I'm Batman. Check out the logo.
Yeah. I like the fear aspect of bats and how he has to confront Scarecrow, because that's another aspect that often doesn't get talked about, right? Scarecrow is very much about fear. So is Raish, right? He's confronting kind of like his master. It's a little scary to confront somebody who helped train you or like help like guide you in the right direction. And so like that's another aspect of the movie that he's sort of like confronting his fear, even as a kid when he falls down the well, his fear of bats, his fear of like, right, Scarecrow with the toxin. So that's like another aspect I think that I would definitely have said if I would have got this thing working earlier. My bad, guys. Won't happen again though.
Should hit up on Discord. We might have been able to talk you through getting onto this. It's I don't know. Usually it's easy to get onto this, but sometimes there's like it's a little bit of a rough road.
We also do it every week, sometimes twice a week. I definitely do it twice a week.
I would love to do Batman Dark Knight or the Dark Knight, but it looks like you already have someone there, so I'll bow out.
Come on, the Dark Knight Rises. Nobody wants to do that one.
I'm kidding. That's the kind of bad one, to be honest. But yeah, not as bad as I think. I don't know.
All right, Kristina, final thoughts. Batman Begins.
Batman Begins, more like Batman is back. This is the start of Batman the way he should be, separating Bruce Wayne from Batman. Good origin. Very different interpretations of some of the characters that we are very familiar with, and also smart to not use the A-lister villains that we know, like Joker, Riddler, save them for later, we never get to see live action Scarecrow much, or even, we're seeing more Carmine Falcone in like in the Reeves universe as well. I think this is a pretty, a good. It's not perfect, but it's so much better than some of the Batman movies that came after Burton's interpretation of Batman. We always think that there's nothing that could top the animated series, which is true, but this does a good job of having that dark, gritty nature. Just Christian Bale did it. I was surprised. Conan was the same way. I'm like, this guy's known for doing weird stuff, right? He could do mainstream stuff. Okay, I'm sold.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying Batman is back. I feel like that's some of the reviews for it too. By the way,
it's funny to think about.
Back
it's funny
again.
to think about like
Batman's back.
Thinking about
Tell a friend.
Yeah.
Guess who's
Christopher
back?
Nolan.
Guess who's
Guess who's back? Guess who's
I love that song.
Guess who's back?
And
Guess who's
ironically,
back?
he's Robin, right?
Yeah. No, that's right.
Good. I
Sorry,
love
Forrest,
it.
go ahead.
It's a brand new track.
Yeah.
It's very funny to think about like a time when Christopher Nolan was like kind of like the indie guy. 'Cause I
He
feel
was,
at this
right?
point, he's
That's what I'm
my
saying.
so
God.
far like onto the mainstream of like cinema, which
Just
is,
think
like
if Tenet hadn't bombed, again, this was during COVID, he would have done Oppenheimer with Warner Brothers on top of Barbie happening. But like they were like, oh, you gave us one bad movie, we got to get rid of you. And it's like,
Yeah. By the way, I guess we can just go into my final thoughts here.
yep.
Yeah.
Remember, Fincher, Aronofsky, Nolan were like all equal footing around this time. And if you think how differently all three of those careers have gone, it's pretty insane. But yeah, I mean, this was the guy from Memento, and I watched this movie because I'm a bit older than the rest of the panel. I watched this movie knowing that like it was the guy from Memento. I hadn't seen Insomnia yet, but it was the guy from Memento, and I knew that movie was like interesting and cool and weird as hell and dark. And the fact that we had just this exhaustive ruination almost of the character in mainstream culture, it's kind of awesome that they it's too bad they had to hit rock bottom to be able to try something different, but boy did it work. And it's crazy to think about now, and I mentioned this many times because our relationship with superhero movies have so fundamentally changed. But at the time this was a revelation. There was nothing like it.
Totally.
And I think it's The Dark Knight is an incredible movie, but I think it outshines this movie so much that people don't recognize that. And again, when we have dark and gritty takes on like literally everything, I mean, eye rolls are justified for a good reason. But at the time, that's exactly what Batman needed. This was year one. We don't need any bat nipples or ice puns. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Camp
the miracle,
Batman. No, none of
camp
that.
Batman. Right.
Yeah.
The
camp.
The miracle of the first Keaton Batman and the dark gothic nature of the second one, the less commercial follow-up, they decided to bring it back to camp to make it friendlier, but it lost most of what made the character work for a modern context in the first place.
Well said.
And it's a crazy time. We saw Sam Raimi be given a shot at like Spider-Man, and he nailed it. And we got a Spider-Man movie. Then we got a sequel that also was good. But the idea of like, oh no, we're gonna take Batman and we're gonna do like Frank Miller's Year One. That was insane. It's like, what? With a big budget? Like, oh my God, that's gonna be crazy. And it was. And using Scarecrow, Ra's al Ghul, characters that hadn't been brought on the screen at the time, it added to the feeling of newness. And Bale, again, we mentioned The Machinist many times over, just the physical transformation for that, and then immediately going to this and going the other way, it's beyond impressive. And I love, as much as I hate everyone doing like the origin story over and over and over again, we don't just get the murder of Bruce's parents. We get to see how he learns to fight and the way that he learns to fight and how he becomes a tactician. And those are things that now we see them all the time. That's the first season of like the streaming show. And then like whatever, he like that has the fight at the last episode. But this was something that was sorely needed for the character. And it's not a surprise to me that it struck a chord with people and that it rocketed Nolan to a new echelon because he treated it seriously. And that's what it needed to be done.
Yeah, it was just so well executed, right? With the exception of maybe like the combat being a little dark or like, right? You could argue that. But yeah, I would say I also watched recently that now that you've mentioned a few times Batman Year One.
Yeah, it's great.
Great. I watched the animated movie of it recently, like a few,
it's good.
Years. It's incredible, and it nails this so well.
Yeah.
So you're right, absolutely.
It understands the essence of
it does
a character that's around since 1939.
Exactly.
And what I can do, I can say all those 17 paragraphs I just said. I can say brooding, dark, exciting, smart.
Yeah. Well,
it's funny that like they had the like after year one, like all the Frank Miller kind of like version of Batman came out, they had like as like a leftist corrective, I guess, to it. They had Batman White Knight. Yeah, and they kind of had like a bunch of like mid like peak woke kind of time period like Batman, where it's like Batman's kind of the villain and Joker's kind of more like the hero in a lot of the
we'll see Socialist Mayor Joker in the Harley Quinn series. I wish we were sponsored by them as much as we talk about it because it's freaking awesome.
Next week, y'all. The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. Batman has begun, so we will be doing The Dark Knight, and then The Dark Knight will be rising.
Next week we're doing it on Wednesday because Tuesday once again an election. We're gonna do election coverage on the space. Cool. Christina got her wish where she's like, can we not do it during Tuesday elections?
Yeah. That would help me out too, so I agree there.
But also on Saturday, and Christina's going to be streaming on her show. I think while we're doing
not this Saturday, next Saturday, right? It's next, but yeah,
no, it's this coming Saturday.
Zolowski, same guy who did Possession. It's going to be
it's the 8th. It's this Saturday because I can't do the following Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
it's an insane movie. If you've seen the movie Possession. Or even our classic episode on it.
That episode's the reason why that film got so mainstream and themed and homage now in recent years. Thanks,
what
guys.
a weird legacy we've left. There's gonna be a remake from the guy that Smile. Great, can't wait. But
you did that.
I
wasn't there. You can't believe it. No one can blame me. Blame these two.
Are you guys gonna do Inception anytime soon or no?
We've never done Inception, have we?
We've never done. We should.
I love that movie too, and it's very similar to this, like structurally. It has a lot of the same structures that I'd like to kind of compare and contrast.
Come on for that.
Yeah,
we've done Interstellar, we've done Memento like forever ago. We did Oppenheimer, and we did
Inception. I remember watching that and I was blown away. I think I watched it 2 or 3 times in the movie theater.
We watched it in a psychology class, and all of us girls were like, "Ooh, yeah."
A lot of the same actors that were in The Dark Knight ended up being in that too, right? Cillian Murphy.
That's right. Yeah, Ken Watanabe too. So Renee Ruin coming on On the Silver Globe. On the Silver Globe's an insane sci-fi epic Zolowski made that the government literally shut down while he was making. It's a crazy story. It was based on a Dune-like series that his uncle wrote, Polish sci-fi novels. It's a crazy movie, and Renee Ruin is coming on for that. So we're gonna be doing that.
That's the 8th for us and the 9th for people in Australia.
There you go.
Yeah.
If you're
always Australia.
Well, Renee lives in Australia, so when we have her on, we have to do crazy times, which
crazy times.
It's
crazy times. Yeah. So next week, so we're gonna do On the Silver Globe. Then next week, Dark Knight, and then Dark Knight Rises the following week, and that's our Batman.
That's our Batman month. Batman. I'm Batman month.
You know what's last thing before we go? You know what's a really ineffective thing to hear in the Batman voice?
Like and subscribe.
That ain't gonna work. Yeah.
All right. Tip of the old cap. William will see you on Saturday.